Hello there, welcome back to You Garden TV. It is a day of love today.
Yes,
it is Valentine's Day, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be than in the potting shed with Bex Edwards on Valentine's Day. How are you?
Darling.
So lovely to be with you.
Nice to have you back.
So lovely to be back again. We've got 3 whole hours for you today, and it's exciting because all the usual goodies we bring you, you know, great offers and deals, postage incentives, but today is exciting because we have got a lot of pre-orders on the show. We are fully focusing on summer, aren't we?
Absolutely, yes. And actually they are, if you were watching last week, we've got a whole bunch of new pre-order items as well.
Nice.
So all about that summer bedding. Lots of fragrance in the potting shed today as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's all about colour and gorgeous fragrances, and also great deals, of course, as we bring you every single week, 3 times a week here on You Garden TV. I'm going to give you the code,
yes.
YGTV724. Make a note of that. No zero. YGTV, because we like to keep you guessing. 724. So make a note of that, because obviously use that code when you're in the ordering process, and that is how you're going to unlock all of the deals we're talking about. Free postage over £40.
Absolutely, free postage over £40. So all you have to do is get your basket to over that £40 mark. Enter the code, it's very important, and that will then knock off any of the postage that happens to be on that order. If you're not getting to £40, we do still have a postage incentive, sort of under the £40 mark, which is 1 postage cost, basically. It doesn't matter how many items you've got in your basket, you'll only ever pay, you know, the highest postage of whatever's in your basket.
It's nice, isn't it?
I know, it's
very,
lovely.
very nice. And also, of course, make sure you're popping in your code, because when you pop in the code YGTV724, it's going to be burnt onto your eardrum by the end of these 3 hours. You will get this as well, our Blooming Fast Superior Plant Food.
Yes.
And why is this so great? It's obviously so popular all the time.
Really, really popular. Our head gardener absolutely swears by this. It is a fantastic feed for your plants. So it's high in all of your NPK, it's got all the trace elements in there, and we're going to be very much starting to feed our plants very soon. You know, from springtime we're doing it sort of once a week, once every couple of weeks, and then in summer we should be doing it, you know, at least twice a week. So this is absolutely fantastic because you are very much going to be using this. I would suggest placing multiple orders. Certainly if you're buying the compost, which has got the postage included, do that as a separate order on its own, because you'll get 1 free gift with that, and then place another order, enter the code again, and you'll get another bag.
Free gift. It's going to make 20 gallons out, so it's going to keep you going for a long time, as you see, worth £4.99. As long as you've got the code in, every single order will have one of those included in it as well, which is fabulous. Loads of reasons, as always, to shop with us. If you want to get in touch as well,
we've got an email address.
Shiny email address.
Shiny email address. We're a few weeks into it.
And details are there on your screen, ygtv@yougarden.com. You get extra points. They're not worth anything, I'm afraid, if you send pictures. The points, they're worth our gratitude and affection.
Absolutely,
the points
and please
give you.
send us your pictures.
We'd love to see
We're
them.
getting very excited. So even if you've got pictures from last summer, send us your gorgeous pictures of your garden. I love looking at people's gardens. So send some pictures in. We'll show them.
Stu says you sent him some pictures.
I have sent him some pictures.
Nice. We'll have a little look at
of
those.
flowers.
I did wonder. He did say it in a slightly sinister tone, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And of course, if you want to place an order, it's really easy. www.yougarden.com is where you need to go, and the phone number is there if you'd rather call us as well. You can call us on a Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, there's people in the office.
Call
so you can
babes.
place your order on the phone if you want to.
Call me. Slide into my DMs. It is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, why not?
There you are. 0844 502 0050. Right, we're going that way.
We're going that
all the way
way.
down to.
Exciting.
We're going to start off with something glorious. It is, of course, our sweet pea fragrant trails that we are talking about. Something, again, that is going to fill the garden full of those gorgeous aromas of summer, Bex, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful fragrance, a whole array of colour you're going to get from these as well. I think these are absolutely fantastic, because also these are the more compact variety as well. You know, we love sweet peas because they have this lovely climbing effect and you get so many flowers, but this is actually your ultra compact variety. So this is the perfect addition option to put into maybe your hanging baskets. You can put these into pots, you can put them into the ground. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. You will get the heavenly and unmistakable scent of those beautiful sweet peas. And not only that, but you'll get that gorgeous rainbow of colour as well, including some that are actually slightly bi-colour as well.
Oh, nice. I love that. Don't forget, it's a double up here as well. One of these $12.99. We don't want to give you that because you can get 2 of them for $19.99, which is great value. You get 20 plugs then. You'd be looking at £1 per plant.
Absolutely. And these are multi-sown as well. So I'm just going to take one of these out for you.
What do we mean by that?
So basically, these have been grown on by our professional growers from seed, but we have multi-sown. So you're getting lots, basically. I think there's at least 5 or 6 in each there, in each one of those. You can. Oh! I knew I was going to do that. Well done, Joe. Thank you.
They are very well watered. They're nice and moist. You know they're gonna survive the journey.
But you can see the quality that we're talking about here. Look at how beautiful those roots are. Lovely, nice white roots on there. So we are talking incredibly good quality. These are ready for you to grow on. I wouldn't be planting these out yet. I know we're saying garden ready. They are garden ready, but your garden isn't ready. We want to make sure that we grow these on a little bit and plant them out once the frost has passed. But you will get so many amazing colours. Beautiful fragrance from those, and that double up deal obviously means you are going to have so many pots filled.
It is. I just think they are gorgeous. They're just synonymous with summer, aren't they?
They are,
love them, and the fragrance they produce is amazing.
Flowers.
Absolutely loads there.
You get so many along the stem, like they grow sort of every couple of inches along the stem. They're
just
beautiful.
There's a reason why they're always so popular. They're going to be very popular again today. 410186 if you are going for your sweet pea fragrant trails. Don't forget, please make sure you're adding 2 into your basket. So you need to make sure you've got 2 of them in your basket to unlock that $19.99. Now, we also, if you want to save even more pennies, and you know what the pennies make, pounds, we've got a great club, haven't we,
We
Bess?
have, yeah, and we've got over 40,000 members of this club, actually. So this is definitely something that I would recommend you join. It costs just £5 for the auto-renewal yearly subscription. You can pay the £10 membership for a one-off. It won't automatically renew. That's entirely up to you. But I do recommend going for the £5 one because you can actually cancel that renewal at any point. I don't know why you would, because once you see how many savings start to rack up using this club discount, you'll be amazed. So what you get is 10% off every plant and accessory order.
It's amazing.
So that includes everything that we've got in our potting shed today, including your compost. There's also a whole plethora of things that you can shop on the website. So please feel free to search the entire website. Just always use our code, because sometimes you get amazing savings using that. You will also get 5% discount off every outdoor living and gifts order. Now this one's great. You get £20 worth of U-Garden vouchers to use throughout the year. So you get £5 every 3 months to spend on whatever you want to spend them on. It's well worth it. I promise you, when you place your first order and you see the savings start to rack up, remember that it's cost you just that £5 for the full 12 months. So every single time you shop in the next 12 months, you'll get that 10% discount.
That's amazing. I mean, lots of these clubs are sort of £5 a month, aren't they? Not £5
a year. For the year.
It's great value.
And with that one, by the way, if you read the sort of smaller print in the green box, basically that membership price will never go up as long as you never cancel the renewal. If we ever put the price of that membership up, it doesn't matter. You'll still pay the £5.
I love that. A really great way to go, especially this time of the year. We're really getting into that sort of garden buying phase now, aren't we? We're coming into sort of prime gardening time, so a great time to become a member of the club. We're going to move on to one of my favourite flowers.
Is it?
But they are, Something about a peony, I don't know why. I think because it is such a sort of small, tight ball when it first comes out, and then it opens up
to something quite big and beautiful.
Just very transformative. I love seeing the journey that it goes on in the garden.
Oh, that's lovely.
And these, of course, are a really, really gorgeous variety. We're talking about a bartzella.
Bartzella peony.
Sounds like a shape of pasta, doesn't it?
It does. We thought it sounded like a footballer this morning.
A footballer,
Who does Bartzella play for? No, it's beautiful, honestly. And like as you were saying, they start as that really nice tight bud, and then when they open up, what you get is just so many petals, but you get that shock of colour in the centre as well, which I think is super super interesting. Now, they're big and they're blousy and they're beautiful, the blooms on a peony. We highly anticipate, don't we, the peony flowering season. It's shorter lived than a lot of others, but certainly well worth having in your garden because they are, I mean, they're standout, aren't they? They're the ones that you absolutely look at. They're frilly ruffled petals. You've got those lovely centres, as I said, and they're actually really easy to grow. I often look at peonies and think that their appearance suggests that they're going to be much harder to grow than they are.
Where I stay when I'm here in Peterborough, Stacey's house, she has a peony bush in the back garden.
Right.
Does nothing to it.
Really?
Year after year.
Just leaves it.
The flowers that come back are so big that they almost weigh down and touch the lawn. They've become so massive. So they are great. Again here, one of them for $14.99, or you can double up and get two for $21.99. So I would absolutely be putting two into my basket on this one.
Now let me just show you how amazingly healthy and beautiful this looks. Can you see 1, 2, 3 and 4 beautiful pink-looking shoots that are on that bare root? That is a healthy bare root just waiting to be planted up. Now I know it looks a bit weird, it looks a bit ugly. You're thinking, how on earth can
like
that?
A chicken foot, doesn't it?
How on earth can that turn into that beautiful flower? But this is the amazing thing about Mother Nature.
With these, would we be soaking them the same way we do soak our bare root trees to wake them up?
Absolutely. Any kind of bare root, you want to give it a little bit of a drink, a little bit of a soak. With this, I probably wouldn't soak it for too long, maybe an hour or so, that's it. But then we're going to plant it out. Now, all of the instructions do come on the bags, by the way. So on there, it does tell us planting depth and plant spacing. So 4 to 6 inches plant depth and plant spacing 12 to 18 inches. And if you think that these are going to grow to potentially 1 metre height and spread, you do need to leave a little bit of space for it. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to establish. So first year you might get some flowers, but it's really about years 2 and year 3 where it will just boom and you will get so many flowers from your peony bartzella. It will be absolutely incredible, but very, very easy to plant. Very, very easy to look after.
They are, and they're just such a spectacle in the garden. I think that's why people love them so much. Lovely to cut as a cut flower as well. Beautiful.
Definitely.
580020 is your item number here. Hello, lots of new viewers over on Facebook at the moment. If you're finding us for the first time, I'm Joe. This is Bex.
Hi.
And we're here with you 3 times a week, aren't we?
Yes, at the moment it's Wednesday 10 till 1, Thursday 10 till 1, and then we do a 4-hour marathon on a Sunday 10 until 2 o'clock. Those times may change as we move throughout the year, but if you follow us on Facebook or if you go onto our YouTube channel and subscribe, you'll get notifications of when we go live as well. So
you could actually run a marathon in 4 hours. It is a marathon.
I mean, I couldn't.
It took me 5 hours and a minute. But,
did it?
Yeah, which was quite a long time. But as long as you get to the end, it's fine. The marathon we're talking about, not the show on Sunday. If you see anything you want, head on over to the website, yougarden.com, but please make sure you use the code YGTV724 because that gives you all of the deals that we are talking about, and we'll show you an example of that a little later as we go through the show. You know, the other thing I was going to talk about with a peony?
Yes.
You know, especially if you buy them as a cut flower, they don't mind a bit of rough and tumble.
Oh, really?
So you know sometimes they just don't like they're going to open.
Yeah.
If you give them a whack on the table.
If you blow on them sometimes as well, that'll open the petals up.
Sometimes they just need a bit of showing who's boss, and then they'll open up a bit more.
But they're very expensive as cut flowers, aren't they?
So expensive. I think they were. There's some giant peonies. We have lots of really lovely plant and florists, flower and homeware shops near me, and they were about £6 a stem, some of the giant ones that they had last year. So super expensive. Don't miss out on those. 580020. Verbena is where we're going next. Now, Verbena, in any kind of cosmetic, so if it's in a hand soap, a hand cream, I go bonkers for Verbena. That could have gone wrong, but this is a really great way of growing it, isn't it?
It really is. I'm a big fan of Verbena because it's quite fast growing, first of all. So you get like not instant impact, but you get good impact in the first year of growing this. This isn't one that needs loads of time to establish. You'll get a really good show in the first year.
Brilliant.
Now, the beautiful thing about Verbena is that it grows tall and willowy. It's what I want to be, tall and willowy.
and willowy.
But
no, I'm short and blousy, unfortunately.
This grows tall and willowy, and you'll see it used a lot in sort of garden designs.
Nice.
Because what it creates is a kind of see-through screen.
Nice.
So it doesn't block out things. So if you want to plant it into a border, you can still see the plants behind it.
Perfect.
It is wonderful for the pollinators. They absolutely adore it. And what you get are these clusters, as you can see on the picture, clusters of these lovely little purple flowers that the bees absolutely adore. It does have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. That means it's a proven performer. You can shop and plant with confidence because this is such an easy plant to grow. They've also given it their badge of perfect for pollinators as well, because as I said, the bees and butterflies, they absolutely adore this. It's great. You can keep it in pots, but I highly recommend putting it into borders if you can. That's what I've done with mine. That's what Sean, Sean, he's away on holiday at the moment, but he's normally here in the
around
cottage.
The Canaries, isn't he?
He's having a lovely time. But yeah, look, this is his. And this is the first year he planted these.
Wow.
Okay? Now, what he was saying is that patio that he's got there, it had quite a harsh edge to it.
Right.
But look how that Verbena has softened it, but it doesn't completely block the view. You can still see through it. And this is one of the valuable things about Verbena.
I mean, you've got a smaller garden, this is going to be a great one. You do want some higher, but you don't want something that's going to really encroach.
Absolutely.
Or it's going to make the garden feel smaller. So this is a great way of doing it.
I love that picture. Look at his little face. Now, it wants a nice sunny spot if you can give it, a sunny spot. Okay, with a little bit of shade, but as much sun as you possibly can. It is winter hardy, so this is, once you've planted it, you don't need to worry about it. It'll die down, but it will spring back into life, and every year it will get bigger and better. It will, form clumps. You can divide those clumps as well over time and spread them around where you want them to go.
I love the colour of this. The price I should highlight, and this is amazing, $29.97 down to $12.97. So you're getting 3 9-centimetre pots. You're paying for just over one of the pots.
Yeah.
And you are getting 3. Look at that. That is healthy, isn't it?
It is a healthy plant. Absolutely ready to be planted. And you can plant this out right now. This isn't one that you need to, mollycoddle and grow on. You can put this into your border and you will start seeing growth from this instantly. I planted mine last year, and within the first year, it got to my height.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 5'6", and it got to my height. And this year, it's going to multiply. It's going to be bigger and better, and that's the beautiful thing about the Verbena. But yeah, look at the quality and health of that root structure there.
I've always told myself I'm 5'9", but standing next to you, who's 5'6", I think I might have been telling myself some fibs. So thanks for that today, Bex.
Sorry, Joe.
560-910 is the item number that you need for that. A £17 saving. Snap that up whilst it's on. Such a great offer. I love that you're going to be able to get that home, get it right in the ground straight away, and you know it's going to shoot up and you're going to see results this year.
It's going to be amazing.
Amazing. We are going to move on to Tuberose next, which isn't a rose.
It's not a rose.
It's not a rose.
No, it's not a rose.
You could be fooled by the name.
It's not a rose.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got. I'm still Joey from the block.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know why I felt I need to share that with you. Tuberose.
Yeah, so this is super, super fragrant. In fact, my spray that I put on this morning, Joe, it has tuberose in it.
Just give you a little whiff. You smell delicious,
Thank
as always.
you very much. So yes, the tuberose is one of the most highly fragrant things that you can plant in your garden. It is absolutely incredible for the fragrance, but also beautiful flower stems that you get from these as well. They can reach about 80 centimetres in height, so up to nearly 3 feet tall here. It is the scent that is used as the base of a lot of high-end perfumes. As I said, I've got one on this morning. It's beautiful. And it will flower towards the end. Mine's not high end, but it is used in high end as well. So it will flower towards the end of the summer and into early autumn as well. So I think this is not only valuable for you to have for the fragrance, for the beauty, but also because this will transition from the end of the summer into the beginning of the autumn as well, when a lot of those flowers have started to die down. Now you do want a nice sheltered spot for it. It comes from Mexico, so it likes warmth. Yeah. Now it doesn't want to be planted out right now, because it does need protection from frost. Okay, so but you do want to get it started now. So these are really decent size bulbs in here too. Shall I get one out?
Yes, please. It's a double up again, this. So you want to put 2 of these in your basket because they're £1 each. I mean, this should be $14.99 for 10. We've given you a discount and then the option to double up as well. So brilliant, brilliant value, which on this one.
There we go. So that is what we're looking at. Now, what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to start them off in pots on their own. So I'm going to do an individual bulb in a pot on its own.
How big a pot would you say?
Not a big one. I'm going to go whatever size that is, like a 10 centimetre pot, 8 centimetre pot, something like that. So I'm going to start them off in a pot on their own. They want to go somewhere nice and sunny and warm. Water sparingly. A bit of water, but sparingly. And keep them somewhere nice and warm. Within a few weeks, you'll start to see some shoots coming up. And then we're going to look after them, you know, keep watering them until we're ready to plant them out. And that is once all of the frost has passed.
So what sort of time of year generally most years are we looking at for the
We're often
no frost?
Looking towards into May and even towards the end of May, because we still get some night frosts going on. Obviously, it very much depends on where you live. So keep an eye on the weather, because you need to make sure that there aren't any frosts happening, any night frosts going on. Now, a good tip here, particularly if you're going for the double up deal, is plant 5 now,
Can I have a feeling?
and then plant 5 in another week or 2 weeks.
Right.
And then another 5. So stagger your planting.
Okay.
Because then what you will get is staggered flowering happening with your tuberose. So you won't get them all coming up at once, which will still look fantastic. But to stagger that flowering season will be absolutely brilliant for you.
Amazing.
So here's a top tip.
Yeah, that is a top tip. I love that. 630004, you will get the discount and the double up as long as you're putting the code in YGTV724. Lots of you on the phone lines for these ones. 630004, your item number there for that one. Really lovely. You guys have absolutely loved that. Something else you have loved.
The flame lily.
The flame lily.
Yes.
It sort of makes my brain go a bit sort of funny. Like, I look at it, and I know what it is, and you're trying to explain to me how it goes. I love lilies, as we know, but it's one of the most unusual flowers I think I've seen.
It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? This falls into my weird and wonderful category, and it was one of our absolute winners from last week. You know, our viewers loved this. I'm going to be growing it this year. I think it's fantastic. It's exotic. It's beautiful. Now, it is a climber, and it does want protection from frost. So I do have a recommendation, and that is our tower pot. I'll talk to you about it in a second.
Amazing.
But look at how gorgeous that is. You get they're like brush strokes of the bright red, and then those margins with the yellow on there. You can see, obviously, while it's been called the flame lily. Now, what happens with this is that the petals actually reflex. They kind of fold backwards, and then they expose the stamen in the centre, and you get these lovely interest going on with how it grows. It is a protection from frost one, so it isn't one that you're going to want to plant out now, but definitely one you want to get started. Get it started in a nice frost-free condition, get that growth going, and then in the summer months you can move it outdoors and you will have the most beautiful. I think if you've got people coming around to your house, they are going to ask you about this.
Of course they are. And also that you always get such glorious fragrance from a lily, don't you? I just think it's the most one of the most unusual flowers I think I've ever seen. Just the way it grows is really quite spectacular. And you've got a really good deal. So you're going to get 3 tubers here for £7.99. That's brilliant value.
So I'm opening all the packets today. I'm going to get in trouble. Never mind. Oh, let's dig in here. Okay, so it's in a sawdust to keep it nice and dry. But this is what they look like, and there are 3 of them in there. And we learnt last week...
It looks like a funny potato.
We learnt last week that you plant it on its side like this.
Right.
With the bulbous end towards the edge of the pot.
Right.
It was lovely Ken. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks,
he
Ken.
messaged in to tell us about this, which I think is phenomenal. Now, I'm going to suggest that you plant all 3 of these into one pot. They will grow to a metre 20, so 4 feet in height. But I think 3 in one pot, 30-40 centimetre diameter, will give you a really beautiful full display, basically. And they do need something to climb up. So if you've got something at home, great, you can create a trellis in a big pot yourself. But we do have our tower pot that I will talk to you about as well, because the way that this will grow will be incredible. And it has a lovely light scent to it as well. So I think in the summertime, that's going to be amazing.
It's going to be glorious. It's going to be a real talking point in your garden, that one. And I love that you can go a full display of that for £7.99. You will only get that price if you're using the code YGTV724, by the way. So please make sure you've entered that code at any point through your journey on the website, because then you'll make sure you are unlocking all of the deals. Excuse me, we're going to come back and have a little look at this. It is a pot which is going to be perfect then for a couple of flowers we've already seen so far. A tower planter.
Yeah, I think these are great. I've got a couple of them, and I need to get another one because I'm going to grow the flame lily, and I'm going to grow it in this.
So would that flame lily grow through here then, and sort of
well,
wrap
the
itself
beautiful
around?
thing is, so the holes here are big enough for you to get your hands in.
Brilliant.
So if
you
you
can
do
train
need
it.
to just, you know, sometimes they need a bit of help just to know which direction to go in, but you can get your hand in and you can point it in the right direction. It is a relatively fast climber, so you will be able to fill this out. And as I said, I think planting 3 in here is fantastic. The beautiful thing about this is that it's made of plastic, so it's nice and lightweight, but it is frost resistant, UV stabilised, designed to last you a long time. But it being more lightweight means it's easier for you to move in and outdoors as you need to, as far as, you know, looking after the frost and things is concerned. So at the end of the summer, you can bring it into the conservatory, for example, and it can be your conservatory plant. It could live in your conservatory, by the way, the flame lily in here. Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Oh, it's going to smell gorgeous, isn't it, in your conservatory?
Yeah, I know, it'd be beautiful. And it comes to you in 4 separate parts, so they all clip together. You can see these 3 are separate parts. There's a clip just there, look, where they clip on, and there's 1, 2, 3 clips around each side.
So you can put the extra bits on as you need them then, really?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like... Because if you only had sort of stuff in the bottom, it would look a bit funny, isn't it? But you just pop them on as you need them.
You could start off with just the bottom one, and then you can clip the other bits on. Or you could just take, if you don't want to use it as a climber, you can take the trellis parts off and just use the pot at the bottom.
Brilliant.
But I think it's a super clever idea. I've got at home, I've got wisteria growing in one, and I've got jasmine growing in another. I'm going to have the flame lily, and I'm also thinking, because I've got the climbing sweet peas,
Nice.
so I'm thinking about getting 2 of these to have those in as well.
Really
I highly
lovely.
recommend this for anything that climbs.
Yeah, it's going to be super handy. 130461, you have got a saving on that as well of £5, which is
that's
wonderful.
great. Only with the code. Put the code in, otherwise you'll pay full price. We don't want you to do that.
No, we want you to get the best deal possible, and that happens by putting the code in. And you need to put the code in once whilst you're shopping on the website for each basket, and then it will do everything for us. Not you have to put the item number in and then the code again.
No.
You do it once and it'll sort it all out for you, just once at checkout. Or if you're on the phone, just tell them you want to use the code YGTV724. We must go back to the sweet peas again.
I knew this one would be popular.
Already lighting up the website. And not a surprise, if you're using the double up, that means you're putting 2 in your basket and using the code. They turn out £1 per plant, which is amazing. And you get that wonderful feed as your free gift too. They just look amazing, Bex, don't they?
They do, and sweet peas are a favourite. My mum grows sweet peas every year, and it's because you get that rainbow of colour, it's because you get that gorgeous fragrance, and because they flower for such a long time. Honestly, you get these home and start them off, you know, on a windowsill or somewhere, and come sort of May time, you will start getting flowers on here, and they will just keep going for you right the way through to those first frosts, and they just keep coming. You deadhead, obviously, to help to encourage more and more blooms to come through, but it's that fragrance and that range of colour that you get, and this is the ultra compact variety, so you don't need anything for them to climb up. They'll gently trail over the edge of hanging baskets, gently trail over the edge of pots. I mean, if you've got our easy fill hanging baskets, to create that look would be so easy.
Because you could do a couple of baskets out of that, would you say?
I think the easy fills, it depends what size you've got, but yeah, I mean, you'd be getting 20. Yeah, you could easily create a gorgeous display with 20.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much in each one of the plants as well that they're going to get a really, really great display from those. 410186 is your item number there. Let's have a little look. Stu has been over on the website. He's been playing around with his basket, but he's done something wrong.
I know what he's done.
Put the code in, has he?
And he's only put 1 in.
Oh no, you got to put 2 in.
The double up deal, you've got to put 2 in.
2's going to cost you $32.97 apparently with postage, so we don't want you to do that. Yeah, that's not good enough. Let's pop the code in. YGTV724. Now, let's see what happens. So it's a reduction on the postage. You've got the free gift and you've got the £10 saving because of the double up as well. So it's imperative you can see why you use that code.
Yeah, it really, really is.
Use the code. Use the code. Let's come back. Let's have a little look at something that is a real staple. Are we going to the? We're going to the pink
Escallonia,
L.
the pink
Lovely,
L.
which is this one over here. Now, this looks like it is really substantial.
It is.
It has really, it's really grown on this, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is a well-established Escallonia for you. Now, Escallonia is a definite favourite. We adore this one. I know we were bringing it in we had a little trio of items, didn't we, with the Escallonia back in December. It was a smaller pot, but we are talking a huge pot here. Is it 2 litre? Yeah, it's a 2 litre pot, so this is very, very well established. Couple of reasons we love Escallonia. First of all, it is evergreen.
Nice.
So I often tell you I've got too many herbaceous and too many deciduous plants in my garden. I need to mix in some evergreen. This is one that would be fantastic because it's gorgeous evergreen. Relatively compact as well. You know, in the picture we're showing it to you in a pot. You could happily keep this in a pot. That's the kind of display that you will create. You could also plant this into a border as well. It can reach up to 3 or 4 feet in height, and the same is in spread as well. So we are talking something that can get nice and big and fill those gaps in the borders for you. But it's when it gets smothered in these like panicle shapes of these clusters of tightly packed, beautiful pink flowers in here, and it happens in a couple of blooms for you as well. You get between June and October, you'll get a couple of flushes of these flowers happening. The Royal Horticultural Society have given it their badge of perfect for pollinators as well. Yeah, the bees, the butterflies, they're going to absolutely adore it. It's really reliable. It's floriferous. You get so many flowers on here, and you've got that year-round interest because of the lush evergreen. I would suggest you deadhead to prolong and encourage more flowers to come through. And only pruning you're going to need to do would be to sort of maintain the shape of it. But it actually sort of naturally grows into a nice kind of bushy shape anyway. And pruning I'd normally do sort of late springtime. So then you'll encourage more flowers to come through. But the Escallonia was actually part of our head gardener's selection. We did a little selection of 3 plants, and this was one of the ones that he chose. So it does come highly recommended from our head gardener here at the nursery.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. Again, I guess it's going to outgrow that pot pretty soon, is it, Bex?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you get it home, it'll live quite happily in this pot until you're ready to do something with it. I was going to try and get it out of there, but actually, if you look at the bottom, it probably does want potting on because the roots are starting to come out of the bottom there. So
let's have a look at Bex's bottom.
Let's look at my bottom, yes. Yeah, look, it's rooty. It definitely wants to be potted on soon. But, you know, if you can't get to it straight away, it's not going to be a problem.
It looks very, very healthy. I love this evergreen. It's actually really lovely foliage on here
isn't it?
as well, sort of slightly waxy almost.
And
it's
I can
really
see
nice.
Loads of new, you can see the fresh new leaves coming through. It's ready to burst into life for you, that one.
Yeah, and it's really great value for considering its size, this, $9.99, as long as you are using the code. Hi. I'm going to move over. Should we see who's in the chat?
Yeah,
let's say hello. Eliza's there. Penny is saying hello to Linda.
Good morning.
Amanda's there.
I'm recognising all these names.
Neil's in
morning,
today.
Neil.
Olwyn. Elaine.
And
Daniel
Dan's in the chat.
Tarquin Bancroft. I saw... not nearly enough gilets. I did see the other day that he had a jumper on Sunday, and then I saw him at work on Monday. He had the same jumper on.
Did he?
Yeah. He doesn't know. I know. I did wear this shirt on Monday, though, so he may have seen me.
Right,
but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm seeing him later today. Right, let's move on then to our Salix Pink Pussy Willow.
Yeah, the Mount Hasso.
These are like the inside of a puppy's ear, aren't they? They are
They're gorgeous, aren't
soft.
they? I'm so excited about this.
If it was my plant, I would pull one of these off and just give myself a little rub on the side of my cheek. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I love it. I absolutely adore this. And it is, I mean, it's been one of your favourites as well. I don't have one. I really feel like I need to find space for this, because what happens with this, as we can see, is we get these gorgeous pink furry catkins on here. And I love, actually, can you see the like halo around the edge where the fur is really shining in the light? Absolutely gorgeous. Those pink catkins appear on the bare branches at a time in our gardens when it's all still a bit dull.
Yeah.
And this is going to add that gorgeous colour. It is definitely a beautiful one to add in. Now, it can get quite big, and I can just picture this at 2 metres height and spread, which is what this can get to. But can you imagine that absolutely covered in those pink catkins on those bare branches? But what's happening with this one now is we can see that the catkins are starting to turn this lovely yellow colour.
Right.
And this is actually where we're starting to get them really full of pollen. So these are really pollen laden now. And this is what's going to invite those early pollinators into your garden. We want as much life in our garden as possible. Loads of life in our garden means healthy plants, healthy gardens. So this really does help to invite those in. And now what we're seeing is lovely bits of fresh green growth starting to appear on here as well. So it's just something different to look at in your garden just before everything else is really starting to wake up. Incredibly striking plant for your late winter and early spring colour. And it is a splash of fairly vibrant colour going on in your garden, and really a really nice established plant already.
Absolutely. So you said it's going to get quite big, this. You could contain it with a pot, could you,
Absolutely,
if you wanted to?
Yeah, and we've got loads of pots on the show, actually, that you could happily keep this in. We've got the Diablo, which this would work beautifully in. I think we've got a double deal or a buy one, get one on this one. And it would live quite happily in that pot for many years. Obviously, it won't get to 2 metres height, but that might be what you want. It'll still grow, it'll still get to a decent size. And then you can actually use those catkins, you can cut them, because you can buy them. They're used a lot in cut flower displays.
Yeah, I've seen them quite a lot. Also then, so with this one, do we need to do anything to it in the winter?
Not really,
This
no.
is pretty hardy, this is
Pretty hardy, yeah. I mean, it's a winter hardy plant. If you want to prune it to maintain the shape of it, yeah, you absolutely can, but there's very little you need to do to this. It's very, very low maintenance.
Amazing. If you want to go for the Salix Pink Pussy Willow, it is 511365. You've got a £10 saving on there. I would definitely multi-order on that whilst it's on such a great deal.
Yeah.
If you want to get a couple of these. I think a couple of these either side of a path in a garden.
Yeah,
a couple of these either side of a doorway, even, either side of the patio doors in the back garden.
You've got so many options with that.
Is there anywhere we can and can't grow it, or is it pretty right wherever,
it's
really?
pretty good. Actually, this one is great for it tolerates pollution, it tolerates salt air, so it's great for coastal, it's great for cities, it's great. Honestly, it's an all-rounder.
It's a really brilliant one, that. I just love the fact it's a bit different. It's going to be really interesting, especially in the earlier sort of parts of the season as well. $14.99. If you want to go for the Diablo pot, it is a double up deal.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, and it's beautiful as well, isn't it?
So one should... Hang on a minute. One of these should be $22.99.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to pay that, because it looks absolutely beautiful.
We're going to discount that if you want one. However, we're going to let you have two for $14.99. So that's less than the cost of one to get two. You're going to want to make sure you're using that code YGTV724, because that's what unlocks the deals,
It's
remember?
a gorgeous finish as well, isn't it? It's
lovely.
Quite high-end, I think. You'd be happy to pay full price for that if you were in a garden centre somewhere.
Yeah.
Beautiful kind of stone effect down here, and then like a hammered metal up at the top. And to get a pair of those, as you were saying, if you put those either side somewhere with the same plant in, that symmetry would look amazing.
My Monstera is massive at home, and it needs repotting into a massive pot.
Yeah.
And I looked at getting a ceramic one, and I'm they're so expensive. In that, I've popped a plate under that, because you've got the drainage, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Would happily have that inside as well as outside.
Yeah.
Really great, and a great deal. They're £7.50 each when you get them in the double up. Don't
Definitely
miss out on those.
Worth going for the double up deal.
Do you want me to help you with something?
No, it's all right. I'm going to switch these over now.
Okay, brilliant.
and then we'll move on.
I thought you were stuck for a moment.
No,
I didn't
it's
know
all
if you were
good.
stuck or not.
It's all good.
Remember remember, if you've got any questions, you want to get in touch with us, then you can. It is the email address to get in touch with us. Please send us photos in as well.
Yeah, show us your gardens.
ygtv@ugarden.com. There it is. We love to see your garden, so please do share them with us. We're going over here because we are in pre-order.
Yes, I'm afraid all our plates are empty because we are into our pre-order section. We have, is it 9 items? Nine items here for your summer bedding.
Not too long to wait though. It's going to be dispatching from early March.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's only, what, a couple of weeks away?
It's not long. You're right, actually. It's really not long.
I keep getting confused and thinking it's still the end of January.
Yeah, it's not.
Because January seemed to go on for, it was like the 84th of January by the time it ended. But now I'm surprised where we are.
Yeah. A couple of weeks away, we will be into March. And this is, the first week of March is when we are expecting to get these and be dispatching them out to you.
Amazing. And you can see here why you'd want to go for them.
Yeah.
Order now, reserve those items. It's going to make sure you don't miss out on the season's most popular plant at the best price. So that's step one. Step two, it will be sent out as soon as it is available and in condition for planting. You don't need to do anything. And I think that's so important with plants, isn't it? There's no point us sending it out to you until it's ready.
Absolutely.
Because you can't do anything with it until it's ready to be done. So it's not like, you know, buy your face cream and having to wait 2 months for it. That's really annoying, whereas this makes total sense.
It does, absolutely. Now, in fact, all of these, you're going to want to grow them on a little bit before you plant them out, but it's perfect time to get them on your windowsills, get them in your greenhouse, start growing them on, because then that's going to give you the absolute best displays for summer. It means you will get flowers earlier, you'll get bigger displays earlier. It helps us to manage our stock levels, but it does mean that you get these at the best prices.
Which is what we want.
Because we often sell out of a lot of these, so this is a great way of us being able to make sure that you get hold of them.
And we're talking about summer. We've got lots of bedding for you, loads of colour, gorgeous fragrance. It's a really exciting time of the year, isn't it, for a lot of people in their garden, making plans about what everything's going to look like as we go in summer. Stu is cracking the whip today, our studio director. He's like, come on, hurry it along. We've got loads of new stuff for you, which is why let's crack on even
with our coleus collection.
This is beautiful.
This is really all about the foliage rather than flowers. We've got loads of flowers coming for you, but this one is the foliage collection. Coleus will create flowers, actually.
Oh, really?
But what we suggest with this is cut the flowers off, because they're kind of insignificant and actually they're taking energy away from the plant. You want the energy of the plant in the foliage on the coleus, because look at those. Aren't they just beautiful? You get look at the colours. The foliage on here is so vibrant.
Sort of luminescent, the green on there.
It is, isn't it? I mean, they're lovely, quick growers as well, so you don't have to wait ages for these at all. They're eye-catching. The colour contrast that you get between the different leaves on here is incredible. I think planted together, these can look beautiful. You can fill out your hanging baskets with these. You can have them in pots. You can put them in borders. They can even be a fantastic house plant.
Yeah, you were saying that, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm considering getting some of these just because I'm growing my houseplant collection.
I'd love to have some of these as houseplants.
Yeah, you can keep them as perennials. You know, you can keep them as perennials. A lot of people grow these as annuals for their summer gardens, but you can actually, with protection, they are a perennial for you. But it's as I say, it's all about that beautiful, fast foliage growth that you get. They fill out really nicely. They get to about 40 centimetres height and spread here.
Lovely size as well.
Really nice size, particularly if you're filling those gaps in your borders. And they're a winner.
They really are. Something's not going to be too dominant either,
yeah.
So brilliant for that. 12 plugs here for £12.99. So they'll be coming in the first week of March.
£1.08 each?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Sean's not here to help me with my maths.
Does Sean help you with the maths?
He's the maths guy.
Well, they are £1.08 each. That is very good. You did do that right, yes. Let's move on then to the Lophus Wine Red. You were telling me that these are always so popular whenever we bring these.
Whenever we brought these in the past, this one is incredibly popular. And I think because it actually looks quite classy, doesn't it? I think it's got a real classy look to it. And this is is a mixture of flowers and foliage interest that we've got going on here. I'm going to start with the foliage because I think it is... Do you know what it reminds me of? That's why I love it so much. It looks like my wedding bouquet.
Oh, nice.
It looks just like my wedding bouquet. It's long and trailing and absolutely beautiful. The foliage on here is this lovely heart-shaped foliage, but it's got this serrated edge to it as well. So I think it just adds an extra bit of interest. Look at those lovely little tendrils that sort of hang off it as well. And then when you mix that with those trumpet-shaped, beautiful burgundy maroon flowers on there, I just think it is really dramatic and really, as I say, classy looking.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
So stunning. It attracts butterflies. Dead classy, that, yeah. It attracts butterflies in as well, so it really does not only provide beauty, but also brings in those gorgeous, you know, pollinators and things. Trails nicely, a metre 20, so 3-4 feet trail on here. 2 hanging baskets.
Perfect.
Just with that will be incredible. Does want a sunny position, but it can cope with a little bit of shade as well.
So yeah, perfect for hanging baskets. I'm not going to be putting this in borders, I'm guessing, but in sort of pots. We need to have a bit of an elevated pot, really.
Maybe an elevated pot, or if you want that tumbling onto the ground thing, you can go with a shorter pot. I often say with trailing plants, you can plant them into borders because it just doesn't trail, it spreads, it creates ground cover. So, I mean, you possibly could.
I think you want that elevated, see the beauty
I think you want to see that trail, personally. But I'd be interested to know if anybody's ever put it in the ground and created ground cover with it.
Email in, let us know, ygtv@ugarden.com if you want to get in touch with us. 400 087, you've got a £10 saving. Now, look, I always think when we bring you something that's in season, it's a pre-order. If you pre-order the new iPhone, we don't give you a discount. It's new. You're the first people to get your hands on it. We're allowing you to pre-order this, but pre-order it at a discount. If you would just casually stumble across our website, you know, you're down a flower black hole and you find us, there's a couple of pounds saved over there, but you got a £10 saving as long as you use the code YGTV724, and that's why it's always great to watch these shows live to get these juicy discounts.
It's true, because honestly, all of the summer bedding that we brought last week and this week, they're all really top-notch summer bedding plants. You know, they're always really popular. So honestly, we don't really need to give a discount at all. But we are relatively new as YGTV. The nursery itself has been going for 2 decades. But you know, we want to pass on those savings as much as we can. So it's always best to shop direct with us at UGTV. YGTV. You Garden TV.
YGTV. I still haven't had the tour of the nursery yet. I've just seen it. We'll get you to take me out one day.
Yeah, we'll do it at lunchtime.
All right, brilliant. We'll do that. We're going to move on to some geraniums. We were both saying before the show when we were prepping this show, there is something about these. And this is a geranium parade plug that we are looking at. Shut the front door, shut the potting shed door. 24 plug plants for £16.98. It's amazing,
no, these are incredible, particularly when you think about the sort of size that these are going to grow to as well. We're talking sort of 50 by 50 centimetres, so you know, up to a couple of feet sort of height and spread on here. They're a summer staple, they're a summer favourite. Love the geranium foliage that you get on there.
It's lovely.
And then you get these lovely clusters rising up out of the top of there. They have a lovely fragrance to them as well. I think it's more the, do you know what? I think it's more the foliage that smells than the flowers. But it's gorgeous. Look at the mix of colour that you're getting included in there.
Why does the foliage remind me of like a Cabbage Patch Kid?
I have no idea, Joe.
Do you see it?
Because you're weird.
I am weird. Normal's boring.
I know, right?
Normal is so
Well, you know how
boring.
much I love weird and wonderful.
Exactly.
So that is an absolute compliment. Now, you are getting 6 separately sown colours here as well. So the rose, the salmon, the orange, the white, the pink, the red, that all work beautifully together. They do come as plug plants, so I'm going to suggest that these will be in our greenhouses, so they will be labelled with the different colours.
Okie doke, that's always handy to know.
It is
so you
handy.
Can sort of colorscape the garden.
If you want a colorscape, colour code,
nice,
or if you want to mix it all up together, it's entirely your choice.
You can absolutely multi-order on that, whilst there's a great saving. Remember, these coming out from the beginning of March. You're saving £9. You could save more than £9 if you join the club, don't forget as well. You get an extra 10% off of everything you're seeing in our show today. What is a parade without ruffles? That's not my editorial. But Stu has a lovely time in there, doesn't isn't
really
it? Coming up
enjoys
with all
himself.
of these little sound bites. This is a Tumblina Ruffles collection. Again, 18 plugs here, so an awful lot.
Look at those.
Raspberry Ripple, isn't it?
Aren't they gorgeous? So these are your petunia double ruffled masses of layered petals that you've got on here. Gorgeous bi-coloured blooms. They are gently trailing, they are beautifully fragrant, and these varieties have been specially chosen for strong growing performance, plus those extra large blooms that you've got on there. Really versatile because they will gently trail, so they can go into your hanging baskets, they can go into your pots, they can go into window boxes, you can put them into the ground as well. These will be great at the front of borders. You will want a deadhead to prolong, just the same as you would with any other sort of petunia. You want a deadhead them. That will help to prolong them. I actually really enjoy that process personally. I think there's nothing better than wandering around in the summer with your cup of tea in the morning, go around deadhead a few flowers. It's one of the most enjoyable jobs.
Nice.
Well, a cup of coffee. But yeah.
Are you in a dressing gown?
Yeah, normally dressing gown, PJs, slippers.
Yeah, nice. I love that.
Slippers go outside. I don't care.
Nothing better in the morning than just getting straight out.
I love it.
Warm.
Really, really love it.
lovely.
Absolutely. So these are bred actually local to here. They're bred near Cambridge.
Oh, lovely.
In actual fact, so nice local breeders that we've got here, and they have been tested to grow well even in our variable summers. So absolute winner. Beautiful bi-colours, lovely ruffled petals. Very, very good plant, this one.
Really lovely, very interesting. The colour mix is beautiful here for you too. Saving £10. Remember, everything we're showing you here in this section of the show, all pre-orders that will start coming out to you from around the first week of March. So not too long to wait for some of these. 400458, and it's pointless us sending them out to you until they are ready to go, isn't it? Because that's how you're going to get the best chance of getting the best displays and the healthiest plants, which is exactly what we want you to have. 400458 if you are going for that one. We are moving on to Funbergia.
That's what I'm
sunny
going for.
Mixed plugs is what we are
yeah, they're
talking
also
about.
known as Black-Eyed Susan, and I think these are fantastic. First of all, look at that colour mix.
Look at the colour.
Aren't they incredible? That looks like, you know when a kid draws a flower?
It's exactly, isn't it, that?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I just think it's beautiful. That colour mix is incredible. Now, it's a vigorous climber, so this is brilliant for filling in and getting those beautiful gaps filled in wherever you've got something that where it can climb, obviously. Tower pot would be amazing for this because the amount of climb you'll get, like each one can grow up to sort of 2 metres, we're talking. So we're really, really climbing. Because it's so vigorous, it will cover that tower pot for you. So, I mean, 6 plug. I would put all 6 in, but that's probably way over planting.
I would go for it.
Just
because
do it.
I want an absolute explosion of colour.
Lovely deep green leaves on there, and the heart-shaped foliage. Plus, you get all those beautiful flowers with that dark centre, which is where the Black-Eyed Susan name comes from. It can be a perennial. It's a tender perennial, needs protection. Most people grow this as an annual, though. It can be a trailer as well as a climber. So think about that. Maybe putting it into your hanging baskets because you can trail it too.
Lovely. That would look beautiful in a hanging basket, wouldn't it? It's up to you then. So you can look after it over the winter, or you can start again. It's up to you.
Most people do annuals with this.
401394. I know that summer's here when the sunflowers are in the shops. You get these at home, pop them in. I have them in vases at home, and they just make me smile.
They last a long time as well, don't they?
They last ages, yes. If they open, not all of them open when you buy them cut, interestingly.
Really?
Sometimes they don't open out.
Just won't do it.
I'm not quite sure why. I'm going to bash them like my peonies. But this is your sunflower sensation. It's a double up, so you will get 12 plug plants here for $14.98. They are the quintessential summer flower, aren't they?
They really, really are, and this one is fantastic because this is a compact sunflower. They are. You just need a little smiley face.
These
on there,
last 2
you?
items literally are happiness in plant form, aren't they?
They are beautiful. I love a sunflower, and the fact that these are the shorter variety as well, lovely and compact. I mean, when I say compact, they can get up to 1 metre in height, but if you think about other sunflowers that can get 3 metres in height.
Some of the sunflower growing competitions are like big as houses, aren't they?
Yeah, they
absolutely ginormous.
So this is absolutely fantastic for your smaller gardens or if you've got limited space, but these are an iconic and unmistakable summer flower, aren't they? Lovely long summer flowering period period from these. Sort of June time is when these will start, and they'll just keep going for you all the way through, right the way through to October. They do have a light floral scent to them. These do have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well. So these are proven performers. Put them in a sunny spot. The clue is in the name. It's a sunflower. But you can also use these as cut flowers as well. So if you want to bring these into your home, you can as well.
Absolutely, you can. You plant these and I'll pop round and cut a few
them
from your display. Take them home.
Fine, I'll do that, no problem.
Do they also, these, when you have like fields of them, they turn towards the sun as well, don't they? These?
They do.
Through the day, they follow the sun. Like me, round the pool on an all-inclusive in Turkey.
That's it.
Rejigging my sun lounger.
Just keep turning till you can.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
As long as you're using the code, that will give you the double up option, so you'll get double the amount for $14.98. We'll also take the postage away as well if you're using the code, that's marvellous, isn't it? We are feeling very generous, and of course they're going to come out to you when they are in tip-top condition as well. And if you've got multiple postages in your basket, you'll only pay the one.
One thing we should remember to say actually is the free gift that comes if you're buying pre-order items. The free gift will come out to you with the pre-order item.
Fantastic.
If you've got a mixed basket and you're ordering pre-order items and things that are in the nursery right now, your free gift will come out to you with whatever comes first.
Brilliant.
And this is a great one to get hold of. We are so close to the point where we're going to go and start feeding all our plants. It's sort of springtime. So I tend to start early in March time, start feeding plants, and then obviously we ramp that up through the summer months. And this is not just any old, just bog standard feed. This is our blooming fast, superior plant food, the fertilizer. This is such a good free gift. We're very excited about bringing you this.
Yeah, normally £5, so we're giving that to you for free, which is lovely. Impatiens Glimmer collection is what we're going to come and have a little look at next. These are a really lovely looking flower, aren't they, Bex?
Yeah, they're beautiful, honestly. So these are part of the Busy Lizzie range, but with your Glimmer collection, what you're getting is double flowered, is it Impatiens or Impatiens? I don't know.
Impatiens. Let us know.
Let us know. Tell us.
Let's go A, Impatiens, B, Impatiens. Let us know in the chat.
Okay.
A or B.
Lovely.
Tomato.
Let's see what you say.
Let's see what you say.
Now, these are highly resistant to that downy mildew disease. Now, we know the Busy Lizzies a few years ago, they really did suffer with this, but these have been bred to be highly resistant to that. You get look, they look like roses, don't they? They look like little roses.
I was thinking they look like little teacup roses, almost.
Yeah.
Really tiny.
And you get beautiful shades included in there. They're nice, bushy, neat, mounded plants. We are talking maybe 40 centimetres by 30 or 40 centimetres. So these are fantastic for you to put into pots, into borders. There'll definitely be a great filler plant in those borders as well. They don't mind a bit of shade, part shade, a bit of sun. These are going to be absolutely fine. So it's not like you need to find the sunniest spot in your garden. They will cope with that bit of shade as well. And they are just top performers. Reliable, consistent growth is what you'll get from these.
Amazing. No postage here, as long as you're using the code, but also the option to double up. So you get 12 plug plants here, delivered for $14.98, and you would get the free gift included in there as well. That is a brilliant
great
deal.
Value.
401528 is the item number you need for those. We're going to move on and have a little look at some geraniums. This is your geranium rosebud collection. You're getting 12 plug plants here with these.
Yeah.
Again, so many beautiful flowers on the show today.
So many for you to choose from today. It's so exciting this time of year. So these are lovely rose-like flowers. Obviously, we call them rosebud, but they do look again like roses, don't they? Lovely double flowers here. Gently trailing habit, 45 by 45 centimetres. So
nice
somewhere
size.
between 2 and 3, no, somewhere between 1 and 2 feet. I have to do the conversions. I'm a metric girl. Actually, I'm a mixture, to be honest.
I'm a mixture,
anyway,
which is frustrating.
It's quite hard, isn't it? Anyway, somewhere between 1 and 2 feet is the height or trail and spread that we're talking about here. Definitely going to transform your gardens with colour here. Renowned for their tolerance of drought and heat, and they will perform well in all summer weathers, to be honest with you. Definitely one of the best for summer bedding, reliable reliability, and I just love the shades, the lovely pinks and purples and reds and white. They just mix well together, don't they?
Really, really gorgeous, aren't they? 400211 is your item number if you want to get these. You've got a saving as long as you use the code, don't forget, YGTV724. And then we'll move on to these, something we did see before, but they are a classic when it comes to summer gardens, aren't they?
They really are, and this is why we brought this one back. So all of the ones that you've seen so far are new for this week. This is one that we brought back from last week because it was probably the most popular out of all of them. Total classic, absolutely adore busy Lizzies. These ones don't mind shade, which is fantastic. A lot of the ones that we've talked to you about, they want a sunniest position as possible, but these, that's the kind of display that you can create in your borders just with busy Lizzies, basically.
How incredible is that?
They're beautiful.
I love the sort of colour, you know, segregating them out by colour. So you can mix them all together, which is beautiful, but if you want to sort of split them out, I think they look beautiful.
I think it's really, really pretty. They do come to you as pro plugs. Please don't think you need to be a pro. They're just small plugs, basically. So they need growing on, which all of these are going to need growing on before you plant them out. They don't want to go out in the frost. So all you're going to do is pot these into little pots, grow them on in your greenhouse, on your windowsills, in your conservatory, wherever you can. And then once the frost has passed, you can plant these out. They are reliable. They outperform other varieties when it comes to resisting that downy mildew foliage disease. They are a breeding breakthrough in respect to that. Now, whether it's rain or shine, sun or shade, baskets, pots, doesn't matter. These will perform for you.
Gorgeous, aren't they? 490193. You're getting 40 pro plugs there, which is an awful lot.
It is.
And a £5 saving as long as you use, of course, the code. We do have something I've not seen before. We are looking at a propagating kit for you on the show. I'm guessing these are going to be perfect for a lot of the pre-orders we had a little look at today.
Certainly the pro plugs.
Yep.
So the busy Lizzies that we just talked about, this will be absolutely fantastic for those. Because what you get are 3 of the trays that you're looking at here. So we've planted this up. I think these are fuchsias that we've got in here. So these have been growing on in the propagator kit. You get the lids for them as well. So if you need the lids, you can do. That's your tray which goes onto your window. So you can see there's no holes in there. So that's great. You're not going to spill water and everything onto your windowsills. And then you get the pods that slide into the tray here. So the 5 of those go in, which gives you 90 in total.
Amazing.
And so you get the lid that can then go on the top of there as well if you need the greenhouse effect going on. So that's your propagator kit. 3 of them, 9 pods, reusable. Obviously there are drainage holes in the pods that go into the tray at the bottom, but then you're not going to spill that water all over your windowsills. This one's been really popular last week. I think it's because people are sowing their seeds, they're getting their pro plugs, they're going to want to grow these on their windowsills or in their greenhouses, and this is a perfect thing to use.
And nice and compact when you're not using these as well. So if you don't have loads of space in the garden,
that's how they slot together. You're going to
slot them all together. It's going to keep nice and neat. That's how they're going to come to you, but it's going to give those amazing plants their best chance as well, which is wonderful. 120034 is your item number there. £9.99 as long as you are using that code. Don't forget YGTV724. That is what is going to unlock all of these amazing deals for you. I want to remind you of some of the amazing things you've seen in the first hour of this show. Let's kick things off as we did with the sweet pea, because the sweet pea, very, very busy at the moment. They are gorgeous in colour, they are fragrant, it's a double up deal. This going to gently trail for you. 2 of these for $19.99. They're going to be in garden ready plants. Your garden might not be quite ready for them yet, but once we've had that last frost, you'll be able to get these in, which is gorgeous. 410186. Peonies is what we're talking now. Absolutely love a peony. They are so striking. This is the bartzella variety that we are looking at here. Really gorgeous. Blousy yellow blooms is what you're talking about with this. They are just so striking. It's a bare root that's coming to you. $14.99 is brilliant value for one. However, exceptional value when you get 2 of these for $21.99. 580020 is your item number for that one. Verbena bonariensis. I don't know if I butchered that or not. Apologies if I didn't. No, didn't. amazing. You're going to get 3 9cm pots here, so lots of options with what you might want to do with these. They grow nice and tall. They're not too bushy, so they are brilliant to sort of having a bit of screen, but allowing you to see through them, which is wonderful. One of these should be £9.99. That's what you'd normally pay for 1 pot. We're going to send you 3cm pots with a £17 saving. So brilliant value, as long as, of course, you are using that code YGTV724. Right, Tuberose is the next one we're going to look at. You guys love these. If you want to smell like Bex, these are what you need in your garden, apparently. It's in the very fancy perfume that she wears, she informed us earlier. 630004 is your item number there. £12.99 each, which is a great deal, but 10, you can double up and get 20 for £19.99. Ding dong, yes please, merrily on high. Get those in your basket. 630004. Lilies, stunning, love a lily. However, these are something a bit different. The national flower of Zimbabwe, apparently, the lily. There we are. And Her Majesty the Queen used to wear a diamond brooch in the shape of one of these. I didn't know that. They remind me of Singapore for some reason. I think there's lots of flowers that are this beautiful, sort of vibrant colour. There's sort of that real tropical vibe to them. 3 tubers here for £7.99. That just doesn't compute to me, the value, when you look at how stunning the flower is. 630075. We have got the Salix Pink Pussy Willow for you on the show. These are gorgeous. They are so incredibly soft. They are like the inside of a puppy's ear, this one. It's a £10 saving for you, and they come really well established in a 3-litre pot for you. So they are ready to go. And they flower, or they give you colour, at a sort of unusual time of the year, quite early in the season. They do look lovely in flower displays as well. If you want to cut these and bring them inside, absolutely, you can do that. 511365 is your item number on those. We have also got the Escallonia Pink L. Sounds like a dish. I'll have the chicken Escallonia, please. 510545 is your item number here. This is going to come into you in a 2-litre pot. Really lovely, interesting clusters of flowers is what we are looking at here with this one. £9.99, as long as you use that code, remember, YGTV724. Now, of the pre-orders we brought to you, remember 9 brand new pre-orders for you, so lots of them for you to get your paws on. This is actually your favourite at the moment. It's the Sunflower Sensation. I love a good pun. 401534, 6 plug plants for £9.99. Plot twist, we don't want to give you that, because you can double up for $14.98, and as long as you are using the code, we are also taking care of the postage for you on that item. So actually, so $14.98 would get you 12 plug plants delivered, and with a free gift as well. That is sensational. Actually, in fact, you know what? I'm going to say it's sensational value for money. Oh yes, it is. 401534 is your item number on that one. We have also got for you this gorgeous, so your Lotus Wine Red that we are talking about. Very, very classy. Great in an elevated pot. Wonderful in a hanging basket for you too. It just gives you that really lovely deep red colour, almost sort of burgundy colour in your garden. You've got a £10 saving there as well, as long as you are using the code. 400087 is your item number on that one. Right, everyone's favourite and most popular item. I want to remind you of the free gift, of course, as well. It is this just here. An amazing quality feed, this for your garden, isn't it, Bex?
Absolute quality, yes. Our head gardener absolutely highly recommends this. If you've ever gone past somebody's garden and thought, why have they got so many flowers? Why do their plants look so amazing? It's because they are probably feeding I mean, they might be really good gardeners, who knows? But no, it's probably because they are feeding their plants as well as watering them. Your plants need food food as well as water. You cannot live on water alone.
I'm really miserable without food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
so
plants need food, totally. And this is high in your your NPK. You've got the trace elements included in there as well. You've basically got everything that your plants need to be more floriferous, to get more fruits, to longer lasting life out of them all. And this is, so we've got another bag here.
This makes saying this makes 20 gallons approximately, which is amazing.
Absolutely. So we're talking 20 gallons, about 100 litres, which means that's about 20 standard size watering cans. Now we do various different sizes, and if you want more, by all means go onto the website and have a little look. This is normally the sort of giveaway pouch, so at $2.99, and this one makes 50 litres. We could have put this one in, but we didn't. We put the bigger one in for you. Worth £4.99. It'll be on the website. You will be able to buy it at that price, but please don't.
No.
All you have to do is place an order, enter that code, and that will be put into your order absolutely free of charge. And if you place multiple orders, you'll get multiple free gifts.
Absolutely, especially on things that have got, free postage. Why wouldn't you do that?
Like
we're going to come back to, we're going to come back to this, or come to this, I should say, is the premium professional compost. Now, it doesn't matter how many times we bring this to you, it is ever popular.
Yes.
Why has this become such a incredible? It's like a cult product that we sell, isn't it? It's what it's become.
Do you know what? It's because people have seen amazing results with it. It's because we've all been to the garden centre and where we've bought compost and we've been disappointed with the results that we've got. We've bought maybe cheaper compost out there, and we'll break down the value because we do believe this is incredible value. But maybe you bought some of that cheaper stuff, and what you found is that it's really poorly composted. You've got great big chunks and lumps in there of big twigs and things that you end up picking out, or it's really compacted and it smells horrible. This
It's light and airy, isn't it?
So fresh. It smells healthy. It's light, it's airy, but it's packed with vital ingredients again that are, so I often talk about it being our trade secret, okay?
Yep.
Because this is the nursery compost. It never used to be available to us to be able to use, but the nursery have amazing results with this. The nursery being a business that grows plants. They're not going to use an inferior...
An awful lot of plants if you came here as well.
They're not going to use an inferior product to grow their plants in, because it's all about business reputation. They want good, healthy plants to send out to you and me at home. So what we've got in here is we've got composted wood fibre, and this is what really helps to give it this lovely, light, airy texture. And that light, airy texture is so important if we're thinking about root development and growth. There needs to be space for roots to get in there, to spread. We need oxygen. The roots need to be able to breathe. If it's too tightly compacted, there is no space for that. So that wood fibre, 50% composted wood fibre, is what really helps with that lovely, light, airy texture. Also, if you're planting your seeds and you're using your propagator kit.
Okie doke.
This works absolutely beautifully for putting into here to grow your seeds. That's what you do.
I know. If it was me, I know I'd very delicately be placing it in each.
But this is brilliant for anything from seeds through to trees and everything in between. So the propagator kit is fantastic to be using with this.
The scene where one of the princes is trying to mix a Christmas cake and the Queen sort of starts to back off. That's a bit like that. That was like there. Yeah,
what's happening?
All right. You're getting all of this delivered, which is quite remarkable.
I know, delivered direct to your door. Now there's little green balls that you'll be able to see in here as I run through the compost. Loads of them, and it's really well distributed. Where are they? There. So there's loads of these little green balls that are dotted all the way through the compost. Look at my lovely hands now. Now that is a slow release fertiliser.
Perfect.
So a bit like your Blooming Fast feed, which is your water-based soluble feed, but this is slow release. So it means that it's going to feed your plants for a good 5-6 months once you first plant them in here. So that's great that they can get hold of feed as and when they need it. We've got lime in here that balances the pH. It puts in exactly the right level of acidity that the majority of plants are going to love. All of those pre-order bedding house plants. The formium that we're going to talk about. I don't know if we've got any ericaceous loving.
Doesn't want to live in here today.
I don't know. I don't think we have.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything lives a beautiful life in here. Houseplants, you need to repot your houseplants. This will be great for it.
They are due now.
So really, so many people review this. we've had thousands over the years, thousands of people say how amazing this is, and I know our regulars, Neil, Elaine, Philip, Olwyn, you know, you've all commented previously in the chat about how you will never use another compost. So if you're a new viewer and you're watching me today and going, what is she talking about? It's just dirt.
Get it home, try it.
Please get it home, try it. Please have a little listen to the review. Get in the chat.
Absolutely.
Say, what are you regulars? Is this any good? And see what they say.
They will. I also love the fact that it's a sort of one thing that I can do everything with, because so often the problem is, I think for a lot of us, you go to the garden centre and there's one compost for this and one compost for that and one compost for something else. It is, and do you know what? And it adds cost. If you're buying specific compost for specific jobs, you always have to buy more than you need when you're doing that kind of thing. This is a brilliant way of having sort of a one compost that's going to do absolutely everything. You are getting both of these. So it's two 50-litre bags which will come to you, which is brilliant value. You save me £17.99, which is amazing. So we're looking at what, £12.50 a bag, but we're also including the postage for you as well. You must make sure you're using the code though, of course, YGTV724. That will give you the free postage and the massive saving here as well.
And do remember that you're getting £5 worth of our compost, our feed included. So just to break down the value quickly, sorry Stu, I know you want me to move, but £5 worth of that, so knock that off the price of there. Then of course we're delivering it direct to your door. This is where the savings really do start to add up, but I do want to get across, you do not want the cheapest thing for your plants.
No,
honestly, you want premium, professional, highly ingrediented.
I love that. Is that a word? It's got a rich formulation.
Rich formulation, Stuart's selling me. Thank you. I lost my words for a second. But you want the best thing. If we lived on junk food, we would not be very healthy, would we?
Of course not. No, it's
and
all
it's
about
the
having the right
same for your
ingredients.
plant. It's about the right ingredients.
Absolutely.
Rich formulation.
If you're going out and spending money on your garden, spending time and energy in your garden, you want to make sure you've got the building blocks that are going to give you the absolute best results.
Yes.
And I think our premium professional compost is exactly that. It's why it's always so popular. 100125 if you're going for that. We've got to move over here because we have got a whopper for you, haven't we?
I am so excited about this.
This plant is massive. It is your Sundowner Pink Formium. I feel like Sunita stood behind this. 510. Honestly, I could have nothing on and I'd be fine.
So there is there's a Naked Gardeners Day coming up at some point soon.
That's not what we
need. Isn't it in March? I think it's in March, and then over Instagram and Facebook and everything.
May.
All the gardeners.
Did you partake last year?
No, I didn't last year, but I'm going to do it this year. I've been trying to persuade Sean Ryan that he and I should do something for
Hilarious.
it. He's having none of it.
No, of course he isn't.
But I think we totally should.
Dan would be up for it.
Yeah.
He's always ready. I need to be careful. Well, I say it's May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Saturday, May the 4th. Gardening
I'm going to persuade him, but yeah, you could do something behind this.
Dan's really got his clothes on, to be fair, so he'll be well up for it. But this, yeah, absolutely.
Look at that.
It's massive, isn't it? In a 5-litre pot, £29.99. That's remarkable.
Okay, £29.99 and £4.99 postage. To get that delivered to your door for £4.99 is incredible. But just think, if you place your order for this, you are not far off getting to your £40 mark.
Absolutely
not.
And
then you'll get this delivered direct to your door, absolutely free
I think you're going to want a couple of these, to be fair.
I love them. I think they're beautiful because they are easy gardening.
How much bigger than this are they going to get, realistically?
Well, formiums don't get, a metre and a half.
Okay.
So nearly my height.
Yeah.
And they grow quite big as well.
Right.
You know, they spread by probably a good metre and a half as well. But it does take a few years to get to that.
Right.
So they're not, this is a nice big one.
And
they're
these
not
are quite
vigorous.
well established, aren't they, these ones?
Yeah, this one is very well established. This is 4 years old already. Now, the wonderful thing about this is sometimes you get flowers appearing on these as well as they mature. Yeah.
I would never have expected that.
I know. So from about 5 years onwards, you can get flower spikes coming out the top of here.
But
this
flowers
is 4 years old already.
Through the
they'll
foliage?
just grow up through it.
Amazing.
I know. This one's 4 years old already, so if you're looking at it for the flowers as well as the beautiful foliage, you've not got long to wait.
No.
But this is very much a foliage plant. This is very much about the architecture, the contrast that it gives you. This is the sort of thing that I talk about whenever we're talking about cordylines, because you have this lovely, long, strappy, sword-like foliage, and that provides real contrast and structure with your softer foliage in the garden. And look at the beautiful variegation and the colours that you're getting on the leaves of this phormium. I think that it's just easy gardening, this, because you don't need to do anything to it. It's evergreen. It year-round looks like this. It's instant impact. Like if you've got an empty garden right now, if you've got a new garden, for example, a new build, an empty garden, get this in. Instant impact straight away.
It is. Do we need to do anything with it in the winter? Does it sort of look after itself?
Well, it's winter hardy down to about -5, so it might need a little bit of extra protection in the coldest of winters. So definitely,
if it's very, very cold.
If it's very, very cold, give it a little mulch. Maybe a bit like with your cordylines, you might want to just on the coldest days, just tie it up like this.
Right.
But don't leave it tied up. This is something that I've noticed some people have done. They've tried to protect it and just left it all winter like that. Don't do that. You just need to do it for the. You can even take one of the leaves off the bottom. So if you've got one that's looking a bit faded, you can use the faded leaves.
Oh, to tie it up.
To then sort of tie it up.
Perfect.
Or a little bit of garden string or something, and then release it.
Amazing.
But really, this one is nicely established, so you shouldn't really have too many problems with it.
And either in a big pot or in the ground if you wanted to.
Massive pot.
Yeah, nice big massive pot.
Nice big massive pot, but I would recommend that going in the ground, to be honest.
510369 is item number 4.
RHS AGM. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, proven performer, ultra low maintenance gardening.
I love it. It's really beautiful.
I'm going to have to move it.
We're going to have to move it so we can see the jasmine. There we go. Off it goes. But again, they are the sort of things that you'll be able to. I've got legs. I know, who knew. These they're just stunning. Those. Please don't miss out on it. 510369. A couple of those, I think, in the garden.
I know.
Absolutely stunning.
Especially if you've got an empty garden, that instant impact you'll get from that is incredible.
Absolutely awesome.
Love it.
Let's move on to something else for you, which is beautiful.
The winter jasmine.
You saw this. Where did we see this? Oh, on the nursery.
Don't
knock the plants off.
They were wandering around the nursery and they saw it and looked how beautiful it was. It wasn't on the show, basically.
No,
so
we're
they've
having it on the
added
show.
it onto the show because it is absolutely gorgeous.
That just shows that's exactly what we can do. You are saving £3 here. It's $12.99. Lots of lovely new growth, it looks like,
beautiful,
on this one.
Honestly.
$9.99. Sorry, it should be $12.99. It's $9.99.
I love that it's called Nudiflorum as well. I really like that name. But this is your winter flowering jasmine. So this has these beautiful trumpet-shaped, gorgeous yellow flowers on here in some of the dullest, dreariest days of the year. So normally this can be flowering anywhere from sort of November time through winter and into early March as well. It is very easy to grow, very low maintenance. All you need to do is trim it to sort of limit the shape on it. It can grow to sort of 2.5 meters height and spread. You get the flowers on the bare naked stems, and then that is followed by this lovely glossy green foliage as well. It is kind of a scrambling bush, so you can sort of grow it in amongst other things, but you might want to give it something to sort of climb up. It can be grown in all soil types. You can put it in a pot with a trellis on, so you can have that lovely design going on. But I think the most important thing to say about this is those bright yellow flowers in winter. What?
Really lovely, isn't it? They are beautiful.
And it's got a lovely light scent to it as well.
It's called a Nudiflorum, so you could
name.
use this for, World Naked Gardening Day if you wanted to.
That's not going to cover up much, though, is it?
No. Well, I mean,
it needs to cover some bits. There's some bits that need to be covered, Joe.
We're going to need bigger Nudiflorum,
I know it's naked, but there's some bits that need to be covered for Naked Gardening Day.
550-373. It's not Naked Gardening Day, then. It's camouflaged by flowers day.
Basically, yeah.
OK, I like that. 550-375 is your item number for that. I'm a bit discombobulated now.
I know, sorry.
At $9.99, as long as you are using the code. Let's go over here, because this, to me, when I think about roses, it's that amazing, quintessential, amazing quality rose. The thing we look at, there was a lot on on TikTok, because I am, you know, down with the kids, but a lot are talking about roses that you buy on Valentine's Day and the differing quality of roses and actually what they look like and cheap roses, I mean, they are completely different to what we think about being these really lovely, glorious, stunning roses that we can grow.
I know it's supposed to be red roses, but I think this is the Valentine's rose.
So it's a black rose.
So beautiful. Well, it's called black baccara, yes. But so it's as close to black as a rose can be. You've got that lovely colour mix going on. It's so deep, isn't it? It's beautiful colour. Absolutely adore this one. It's a hybrid tea rose as well, which means that you get, with hybrid teas, it is one large rose on a nice long straight stem. So this is your perfect cut flower when it comes to roses. They tend to be more fragrant as well, hybrid teas, than your floribundas. You still get fragrance and they're gorgeous on floribundas, but these tend to be a little bit more fragrant. It's I'm sure this is the one I planted in my garden that I need to move because I haven't got it in enough sun, so I'm going to be moving it soon, and I'll let you know later on in the year because I'm sure I planted this one. It is a proper focal point. This will be a real specimen, I think, that will give you years of joy, years of fragrance, multiple flowers throughout the flowering season, enough for you to be able to keep loads on the plant outside, but also have some, you know, beautiful cut flowers to bring indoors as well.
A lot of people say, Bex, that, you know, roses tricky to grow.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did used to be very tricky, didn't they?
I think they did used to be. I mean, I avoided them for years because I always thought that they were tricky to grow. But actually, I mean, we work with some of the best breeders in the world when it comes to roses. And I think breeding has just come on such a long way. They are bred to be disease resistant, you know, low maintenance, really hardy, just easy to grow.
Yeah,
and I've got several in my garden now, and they're just easy.
They really are.
Winter hardy, very easy to prune. You get loads of growth from them. It's not like, I mean, obviously they will mature and they will establish and they'll get bigger and better, but even in the first year you get amazing displays.
That is incredible.
It is incredible.
Flowers first year.
Yeah.
And coming to you on a bare root, this bare root looks so healthy.
Yeah.
It just looks so healthy. It looks ready to go, doesn't it? You give it a little bit of a soak and you're going to get that planted. Look at that. It's got such a really lovely colour to it as well, the roots.
So this is how it comes to you. It is wrapped in this plastic here because this is, it's just looking after the roots for you.
Keep the moisture in there.
Yeah, it helps to keep the moisture on there. So what you do when you get it home is you gently unwrap it. Maybe a bit more gently than I am doing right. Oh no, that's not too bad. So we're going to gently unwrap that to expose the roots there. So what? Ow, just pricked myself.
Yeah, I know,
what happens with these is that they're lifted from the ground whilst they're dormant and then they're kept in cold storage to keep them fast asleep. So they're just fast asleep. Actually, you can see from this one that we've got sprouting growth coming off here. It started to wake up because we've moved it out of the cold storage. But what you'll do when you get it home is unwrap it like I just have, soak those bare roots, a couple of hours at least, but with roses, overnight's probably a really good thing. And then you're going to plant it out. Now, if you bought a potted rose, you would pay a lot more money.
Of course, yeah.
This is the gardener's way. This is the way of getting the best value for money because you're not paying for the pot, you're not paying for the compost, you're not paying for the growers, you know, the people's here time to plant this up. Obviously less transportation costs because it costs less, you know, it weighs less as well. And it's as easy to plant a bare root as it is to plant a potted rose.
Oh, okay.
There is one additional step to planting a bare root, and that is to soak it.
Yep, and that's what
everything else is pretty much the same
would you soak it up to here? Would you submerge it up to that?
Just chuck it in a bucket of water.
The whole thing?
I mean, you don't have to submerge the whole thing as long as the roots are getting a drink.
Covered. And
you don't have to be too careful.
I guess this is where we'd plant it to, would we?
Well, the union wants to be below the ground. Now, automatically, you would think that you would plant it to about here, wouldn't you?
You would.
But actually, we recommend that goes a little bit below the soil surface, so a couple of inches below.
And when are we putting this in the ground?
Any time now.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, bare root planting season is anywhere from sort of October, November, December, January, February. All you have to be careful of is that the ground isn't completely frosty or too soggy.
Yeah, okay. So now's probably a good time. We haven't had too much rain or too much cold weather.
It's absolutely perfect. You can plant it into pots, you can plant it into borders. I've got one in a pot just because I don't know where to plant it yet.
And would it live happily in a pot?
Live happily in a pot.
Or are we not putting it in a pot with a view to getting it in the ground?
You can do either. So if you're not sure where you're going to put it yet, put it in a pot, get it started, get it, get the root system working, and then you can decide to transplant it somewhere else later, or let it live in that pot.
Do you have to be more conscious of watering if it's living in a pot than it is in the ground?
Anything that's in a pot, because obviously it's a self-contained, so it will dry out quicker. So anything that's in a pot, you do need to just pay a little bit more attention to. You obviously need to feed and water more than you would do if it was in a border. This is a great thing to add into your basket for anything that you're planting, bit of root grow, bit of mycorrhizal fungi. Particularly important, I think, in pots, because obviously you've got that self-contained ecosystem in that pot, which will gradually die out. This is a one-hit wonder in a pot. So it adds in that beneficial sort of fungi, basically, which helps to establish the plant, create that secondary root system, and you don't need to keep applying it. Once in a pot is absolutely fine.
Brilliant.
And we swear by this. This is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, the number 100066. Is your item number for that one as well. Make sure you are using the code when you're ordering the black baccara, because we're discounting it by £3, but we're also including the postage. If you just ordered that on its own, that would be £16.99 delivered today, and you would get the feed as well, worth £5 sent to you as well. Just tremendous value, really, isn't it? YGTV724. Elaine has just gone for this. One of our regulars. She's gone for it. She doesn't know where it's going to go. She's already got so much stuff.
Garden. Honestly, Elaine's with us every week. She's ordering. I know Elaine's got the menopause rose like me, and now she's got the black baccara. I'm sure it's that one I've got. So I think, Elaine, you and I are twinning here.
Oh, nice. Anyone wants to send us pictures of their garden? We'd love to see them.
Yeah, please.
It's ygtv@ugarden.com. Stu's feeling a bit lonely in this. No one's emailed him yet.
Say hello to Stu.
Lots of chatting.
Lots of chat, but not many emails.
Not many emails. Eleanor is in the chat. Eliza, who else is over there? Olwyn, telling us how much they love the compost.
Olwyn is always reliable for telling us how much she loves the compost. So thank you, Olwyn.
Who doesn't love the compost? Let's move on then. We are looking at a hibiscus lavender chiffon.
Yes.
Now that is a bit of a strange name, isn't it?
Well, there's a reason for it. Obviously lavender, because it's this beautiful lavender colour. But the chiffon series of hibiscus is that you get these lovely ruffled double flowers. So other hibiscus are single flowers, but the chiffon series have those lovely ruffled double flowers and petals on there. Now, there are hibiscus out there that are tender, but this one is winter hardy. It's winter hardy to -10. And to get what look like absolutely incredibly exotic, beautiful blooms on here, to be winter hardy to -10, I think is incredible.
Amazing.
And they get quite big as well. Each of those blooms can reach good 5 inches in diameter. And one of the reasons I love hibiscus, and I've finally got my first hibiscus planted in a pot in my garden, is that you get late flowers on here.
Oh, okay.
So it can start flowering from around June time, and then it'll keep going for you right the way through to into October, until we get the first frosts, basically. So I saw hibiscus right the way through to November last year.
Wow.
So again, once all those summer flowers have faded, your summer bedding's gone away. I hate to say this, because obviously we're getting excited about that at the moment.
Of course, we don't want to think about that just yet.
I know. No, this is a great transitional plant for you, because once those summer flowers have started to fade, this one is actually at its best and looking amazing. Sorry?
I think one of those things that I think, unless you're clever with what you're putting in your garden, it can go from being an abundance of joy to a bit miserable.
It's the key to being a good gardener, which, I mean, we're all learning. I'm not there yet, but it's all about trying to make sure that there's something in your garden every sort of month of the year that looks amazing. And if you've got that, every month there's something, you can then build on that. With this one, you've probably got September and October covered, because it'll get nice and big as well, or it can if you want it to. It can get to 2 metres height, a good metre and a half spread, if you want it to. It needs a good sunny spot though. I've put mine into a pot because my borders they aren't sunny enough. They all get a bit of sun, but just not enough sun. So mine's going into a pot. That does mean I'm restricting the size. It's not going to get to 2 metres. But I am going to get more flowers by doing that.
You're going to get more flowers by having it in a pot?
I mean, I'm going to get more flowers by having it in the sun than I would from getting a bigger plant in a border.
Right,
so it'll be smaller, but I'll get lots of flowers in the pot because I can keep it in sunshine. If I put it in my border, which is too shady, I might get a bigger plant, but less flowers.
Oh, there you are.
And it's all about the flowers.
And also, it's a double up, this one too. So $9.99 for one of these, or 2 of them $14.98, which is amazing. Only what? An extra £5 £8 for a second one, which is brilliant value. 511067 if you want to go for those. We're going to move on to the dahlia, the dahlia, whatever you want to call it. Rebecca's one. We haven't worked out, is it dahlia?
I say dahlia.
Is it an Americanism of dahlia?
I often see a debate about this on the social medias. People saying dahlia or dahlia.
On the social medias.
The social medias. Because I'm an old lady. I'm not down with the kids.
I'm self-identifying as an old lady.
Are you?
That's what I'm doing, yeah. Let's move on to these. Rebecca's World. 3 tubers here. It's a buy one, get one free. So you put one in your basket, we'll send you 2 lots, which is very, very nice of us, isn't it? Another striking flower, this one.
Totally. And because it's called Rebecca's World.
It is.
That's one of the reasons I love it. No, dahlias are incredible, and I love the bicolour that you're getting on here. I love that dark centre and then opening up to that kind of crisp white and creamy colours that you're getting. I think it's really, really beautiful. The dahlias do last a long time as well. So I'm putting it in the same bracket as the chiffon lavender there, actually, because they keep going. So they start in the summertime, June-ish, and then they will keep flowering for you, and they will keep going again right through to the first frosts. So what I saw last year as I was driving around was loads of dahlias in October and in November. They were still going really, really strong. And with dahlias, you can get loads of cut flowers. I know you like your cut flowers.
I was about to say, yeah,
you love your cut
delightful
flowers.
cut flower, this one.
Well, that's absolutely what you can get with dahlias because they are floriferous. They keep flowering for you. And in fact, the more you cut, the more it encourages more blooms to come through.
So actually so would you cut some of the early flowers off on purpose?
Well, you do this pinching out thing with dahlias.
Oh, yes, we spoke about this before, didn't we?
Yeah, so when it's first starting to grow and you do some pinching out, what that then creates is a bushier growth, which then encourages more blooms to come through.
At what bit do we pinch out?
There's a bit where you see it growing like this.
When the flower comes.
Not the flower, it's way before then.
Way before the flower.
Way before then. It's with the foliage, and then you pinch the foliage out, which then creates more stems to come out. So you get bushier growth, and then that encourages more flowers to grow.
I love that.
And we learned, I didn't know this, Sean found this out from somebody, you have to wait for the dahlia flower to be open before you cut it. Right. Because it won't open if you cut it and put it in a vase.
Yeah,
I never knew
I've had them before that, and then they haven't opened, and I
never knew that.
Then have thrown them away. Just did try giving them a good bash, didn't work.
It doesn't work.
Well, that's nice actually, because you get the best of both. Then you get to see it come into bloom in your garden.
Yeah.
And then you get to
and
keep
then you
it cut,
and
they last a while cut as well.
They do, don't they? You get a decent amount of time out of them.
And they look beautiful with peonies, I think, as well.
Yes.
Look really lovely alongside a peony.
Especially this one, because you've got that sort of. They're a bit like our cactus mix with the spiky-looking petals on there, so you get the big blousy blooms of the peony and the spiky bit of the Rebecca's World.
There is a hot debate going off with,
yes, I hear.
in the YouTube chat. What is the consensus?
Is it a dahlia or a dahlia?
D-A-Y or D-A-R, dahlia. I would say dahlia. I think it's because of Rodal. And Rodal is the first bit. Yeah. And I love a Tarkadal, which is also...
That actually makes sense.
No, Dal is D-A-A-L, that you get from takeaway, isn't
it?
Here we are. I don't know. We'll have to go over to Dictionary Corner to... I nearly had an Indian last night, and I
Stu, you're going to have to add up the votes and see where
let's have a vote in the comments. He's going to put a poll on Facebook.
Yeah, let's put
Brilliant. Okay, let's do that. We'll answer this once and for all. But if you want to go for the dahlias, you can. 630146. It's a buy one, get one free. So we need to do is put one in your basket. We'll automatically add a second one, or a second 3, I should say, in there. So you'll get 6 tubers in total for $9.99. That's brilliant value.
6 tubers, the amount of flowers you'll get from 6 tubers, honestly, there will be so many of them.
6 tubers.
Tubers.
Did I say tubers? Yeah. 6 tubers. Park those in your garden. Oh, where did you get those Tudors that are parked in your garden? Oh dear, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move
on to the Narines we're looking at.
Do you know what? I hadn't even realised we've done this, but chiffon lavender, Rebecca's World, Narines, all late flowering.
Nice.
So all late summer and into early autumn here. So these 3 are fantastic to extend that lovely summer flowering season. Because Narines, I mean, Sean planted these, he was telling us last year, his Narines didn't start blooming until October last year. And they can be anywhere between sort of September, October, and maybe even into November, obviously depending on where you are in the country. But yeah, they're that lovely late flowering one. They are also known as Guernsey lilies as well.
Guernsey lilies?
I know. They're not actual lilies, but it's just another name that people might have heard of.
They must be in abundance on Guernsey, I'm guessing.
Maybe. But it's a nice warm climate down there, isn't it?
It's really lovely.
They do want a nice warm sunny spot in actual fact, because these are, I think they're East African or some, I can't remember. But they come from a really hot place, basically. Nice. So they do want a nice sunny spot, basically.
It's odd that they flower so late, isn't it?
I know.
From a tropical climate
It's amazing.
in this country, yeah. Really beautiful.
Full sun position, sheltered if you can. You don't want too many, you know, cold winds on these. A lovely south or west facing wall would be incredible. You want to get these planted anywhere between sort of March and May, so now is a perfect time to get hold of these. You want it just below the soil surface. You want the neck of the bulb just sort of sticking out of the top.
Not very deep at all then, these?
Yeah, not too deep, otherwise they won't flower, basically. Okay. You'll get loads of foliage, but no flowers. You want to mulch them over the winter as well, so they are winter hardy, but definitely mulch them. First year you'll get some flowers, second year it'll really take off. So it's this, you know,
I can see why they're called a lily now.
Yeah, with perennials they do need a little bit of time to establish. Some are fast growing, some need a bit more time. You will get some flowers hopefully first year, but then next year and the year after, amazing, amazing flowers, and a lovely collection of a lovely mixture of colours that you're getting in this particular collection.
We were both saying we're a little bit tired before the show, weren't we?
We're stumbling over our words a little bit, haven't we?
For the first hour and 40 minutes.
I know.
But the wheels are coming off slightly now. You had a long day. You were at QVC yesterday, weren't you?
I was.
Having a lovely time.
In fact, I'm sure there were some of our lovely viewers that tuned in and sent us some pictures on QVC last night.
Have you used the canteen yet?
No, but I had a wander around it.
It's delicious.
It's quite fancy, isn't it?
Very fancy. Do a lovely, you know, bit of smeared avocado on a piece of sourdough at the weekend.
Oh, they were all talking. All the crew were talking the other day about how the meal at QVC was this amazing cottage pie. Everyone was going mad about it. They said it was delicious.
It's worth going
really
just for
good.
that. I mean, I've tried to go down, just turn up and use the canteen, but they weren't having it.
They're not letting you in.
No, won't let me in. Let's move on. Have a look at these. Dahlia, I think we said it was. No, Dahlia or Dahlia?
No, these are Narines.
No.
That one.
What did we? The group chat say? The Facebook chat.
Dahlia
is in the lead.
Okay, so there is a poll apparently on Facebook. If you want to hop on over to
yeah, if you're live on Facebook,
on the Facebook Live, there will be a pop-up that asks you to vote.
Let's go back down and have a little look at the begonias. Oh, Joe, you're so funny, says someone in the chat. I like that, thank you. As long as I'm making someone smile every day. Begonia apricot fiery shades mix.
So fiery shades, because what you get on a lot of the flowers in here is this extra zing. Ooh. Okay, we love apricot shades because, I mean, they're just warm, sunny, beautiful colours. But then the extra zing that you get with the fiery red kind of outline to the petals on here just adds that extra bit of interest. The begonias, in general, all the begonias are just #1 when it comes to flower. Well, I say that about a lot of things, don't I? I'm so sorry, but they are really up there when it comes to flower power throughout the summer months. June, July, August, September, October, these things just keep going. They're tolerant of all the British summer weathers, so, you know, we never know what we're going to get in the summer. It might be a lovely warm one, it might be, you know, a little bit rainy, it might be a lot rainy.
Yeah, a washout.
It could be an absolute washout, we never know, but the begonias really don't care. They can thrive in all of those conditions. Plus, they can cope with a bit of shade as well, you know, so they don't need the sunniest spot in your garden. If you've got some part shade, not a problem. They are just guaranteed to give you amazing displays for so many months. You can start them off now, and I do highly recommend starting them off now. I didn't plant my begonias until right after the frosts, so I didn't plant them out at all, didn't start them off until sort of end of May time last year. Still had amazing displays, they look great, but I could have got them earlier if I started them off. Now is the perfect time to get them started. Now what we have with begonias are these are weird-looking things.
Right.
A lot of you at home, you're already going to know
I've not
these.
seen these.
This is what it looks
They look like little birds' nests, don't they?
They do look, that's exactly what they look like. So what you want to do, because sometimes it's not obvious, you have a little feel. Now, I can feel the concave bit there, so it's like a little bowl shape. So the concave bit is up. So we're going to plant these into shallow baking tray.
I thought you were going to say something rude.
into a shallow seed tray, bit of compost on the bottom, light covering of compost over the top. Don't plant them too deep, and then a light sprinkling of water. Again, don't soak them too much. Put them somewhere nice and sunny and warm, on your windowsill, in your greenhouse, wherever you can, and within a few weeks you'll start seeing those shoots come up. You can then pot them on, keep them frost-free, and then plant them out once the frosts have passed. These are going to be great for the top of your hanging baskets. They're going to be great for your borders, excellent for your pots. 100% recommend begonias all the way.
Lovely, aren't they? 630-197, then the item number that you need there for those. They are a double up deal as well. So one set or 10 tubers are $9.99. Why would you go for that when you can get 20 tubers for $14.98? You're looking at what, 75p a tuber?
Well
when
done.
you get them in that configuration.
You're taking Sean's crown of the
they will. I think it's, I don't know why. It's a quick. I'm quite good at quick math. I don't know what it was. I used to sell burgers and hot dogs for my family as a kid, and I think that's what did it. What onions on that, mate? It's £3.50. Cheers.
Nice.
Let's move on. Shall we go back to the sweet peas? Is what we are looking at. Which are these here? It is your favourite item on the show. It's easy to see why, Bex. I think.
Totally. Yeah, sweet peas are a firm favourite anyway when it comes to, you know, summer flowers and fragrance, but this one is the ultra compact variety. Okay, so we, you know, a lot of sweet peas, they're climbers. You know, they will climb up a trellis or up a tower pot, but this is a lovely compact variety. So this is a perfect addition for your hanging baskets. 30 by 30 centimetres we're talking here. So lovely gentle trail that you can get from these. Absolutely great. I think if you put them into pots as well, these will look beautiful. In fact, in our April planters, we've got the lovely square April planters on the show, or even in our Diablo pots, they would look fantastic. Actually, even in the Knox hanging baskets that we've got, these would look great. Any of our pots that we're bringing you today, these would look beautiful. But it is that heavenly and unmistakable scent that we get from the sweet peas that we adore them for. But you've got a lovely mixture of colours there, and they look like butterflies, don't they?
They do. They really do. I just love how sort of dense and full and lush the displays are going to be that you're going to be able to create with these, and a brilliant price as well. $12.99 will get you 10 of these garden ready plants. However, it's a double up, so put two of these into your baskets, and they'll be $19.99 as long as you're using the code. I just love that to do hanging basket with and just have these balls of colour. It's
I
amazing.
love seeing mixed hanging baskets. I do. I think it's lovely when you see a mixed hanging basket, but to have a hanging basket that is just full of one plant and one super fragrant plant as well, because hanging baskets normally they're by the front door, aren't they, or by a door, they hang that. So I think every time you walk in or out of the door, to get that beautiful scent, that fragrance that you get from sweet peas will be incredible.
Amazing, isn't it? 410186 is your item number if you want to go for those. Are these the ones we're being asked in the chat that we gave away seeds a while back?
No, those were the climbing ones, which I'm still yet to plant. I need to get on with that. No, those were the proper climbing ones. These are the ultra compact variety, so these are very different. I mean, still beautiful peonies, sweet pea scents and all the rest of it, but just compact.
It's a sort of different variety. 410186 if you are going for that. We're going to move on down to the Verbena.
Yeah, the bonariensis.
I love Verbena.
I love it.
The smell is beautiful, isn't it? I love it in stuff. Is there anything that's Verbena fragrance, like a hand cream or a candle or any of those things?
Like those.
Absolutely love it. So why not grow it in your garden and get the fragrance?
Totally.
Straight away.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. I was so thrilled when I planted this last year. It grows really quickly as well, so you get this lovely, tall, willowy shape from this, which means that it doesn't, you know, it's not bushy, it's not dense, it doesn't hide other plants. We call it the perfect plant to look through. So in your mixed borders, it plays really well. It plays nicely with the other plants that are in there. You get these lovely, tall, willowy stems, and then you get the tiny lighter clusters of the purple flowers at the end there. The bees absolutely adore it. The butterflies absolutely adore it. So it's great for inviting all of those pollinators into your garden. It seeds freely, so you get free plants from it. You can actually divide it as well as it gets bigger, because obviously even though it grows quite quickly in its first year, it will fill out and get bigger and better over the years. It is a perennial, as I say, so it just keeps coming back for you. The Royal Horticultural Society have given it their Award of Garden Merit and their Perfect for Pollinators stamp of approval. It's winter hardy too, so actually we haven't talked about this much during this show, and we should have done. Winter hardy, if anything is fully winter hardy, we give it a lifetime guarantee.
Amazing.
So if it fails to thrive within your garden, you know, you've done what you're supposed to look after it, and it still doesn't live, all you have to do is get in touch with us, our customer services department, explain to them what's happened, and we will replace it free of charge.
That's
all
really
you have to
good,
do is cover any postage costs to get that out to you. That's the confidence that we have in the plants that we provide, and you'll see the symbol on the website if it is a winter hardy one.
Well, that's amazing, really.
It is, isn't it?
If this fails at any part later in the year, this is our Verbena bonariensis, and you see the little snowflake symbol there, winter hardy. That means it will be covered by that lifetime winter guarantee, which is amazing. And I love on there as well, it shows you how big it grows as well. We've got some pictures of Bex's.
I sent my pictures.
What are they pictures of?
The Verbena.
Oh,
so
lovely.
That's my favourite border. I planted that last year as a tiny plant that we are bringing you here today, and that is how big it grew in its first year. And look how beautiful it is, mixed in with the Rudbeckia, the Bols mauve, there's a little Geranium roseanne down the bottom there as well. It just plays really nicely with all of the other plants in the border. That's my Sarcococca on the left side there.
Your what, sorry?
Sarcococca, we've got it on the show later. I dug it up out of that border. Very fragrant, it's beautiful.
Your Sarcococca is very fragrant.
It is very fragrant.
560910 then if you're going for those. You're getting 3 9cm pots. They should be $9.99 each. You get 3 for $12.97, which has been, as long as, of course, you are using the code YGTV. That's what's also going to get you that free gift, which is our blooming fast this week. We are moving on to Tuberose.
Yeah, beautiful fragrance you get from this one. It's probably one of the most fragrant flowers that you can plant in your garden, and another one that's going to come up slightly later for you as well. So, August, September time. Right. This is when the Tuberose will actually start to flower. The fragrance gets stronger in the evenings too, and I just love that idea. I can't wait to be sitting out in my garden. You know those lovely balmy summer's evenings when you're sitting outside with a cup of tea or a mimosa or whatever it is you're sitting there with. You've just had a barbecue, everyone's having a lovely
first
time.
Barbecue in the summer.
And then the scent that you get from that tuberose is going to be incredible. It's beautiful as well. I love the colour of the flowers. You get lovely kind of blush pink tones on those creamy white petals too. But it's that fragrance. The fragrance is so, so pretty. It's so pretty it's used in lots of high-end perfumes. Mine is tuberose, but it is just a body spray, so I'm just putting it out there. It's not a high-end perfume. But it's a beautiful scent. It is absolutely gorgeous. I can't afford the high-end perfumes.
I've been buying in the middle aisle, next to the middle aisle. Right. I'm going to say Aldi. Aldi have a hotel collection, and it's very like, you know, they have the candles that are very like the other brand of candles. Yes. But they've started doing the fragrances for like £8 that are very like the other brand of fragrances that they have all the same names as. How they get away with it, I don't know.
Well, they do.
I bet it's Eau de Parfum as well, £9 a bottle.
Wow.
I know, there you are. Thank me later.
I'm going there later, so that's good. So these are what they look like. So odd, again, I marvel at Mother Nature and how this can turn into something so absolutely beautiful. Now, you want to start these off soon. You want to start these off early if you can. And I'm going to recommend you plant, if you're going for the double up deal and you've got 20 of them, plant them in 4 batches. Amazing. So plant 5 now, and then in 2 weeks plant another 5, 2 weeks plant another 5, because then what you'll get is successional flowering that happens. Perfect. So rather than all 20 20 of them coming up at once, you'll get a lovely successional flowering, so you can extend that flowering season. Start them off somewhere nice and sunny and warm. Don't plant them too deep. I'm probably going to plant mine with the neck just pointing out the top there. Yeah.
So you want that little bit on,
just a little bit. That's how I'm going to do mine.
Nice.
And they can be perennial with care, but they are tender, so you do want to protect them from frost. So I'm going to suggest pots would be great, because then you don't have to dig them up, dry them out. You can just move the pots somewhere frost-free. But they do want somewhere nice and warm, somewhere nice and sheltered. I would definitely put them somewhere where you're going to be sitting of an evening come late summer, so that you can get that gorgeous aroma.
Nice. 630004 if you're going for those. Make sure you're using the code and adding 2 to your basket. You'll only pay, what, £12.99? For one of these, you'll pay £12.99. There should be £14.99. 2 of them, £19.99, which is brilliant. Instead of, what, £30, so looking at the usual price. So, brilliant value. 630004 is your item number. Make sure you're using the code, of course, because that is how you get all the deals, and you also are going to get, as well, that free gift. Remember, the Gloriosa is where we are going next. This is surely one of the most... I know we bring you lots of unusual flowers here at You Garden TV. This has got to be one of the most unusual flowers I've ever seen, I would say.
Well, look, it's gardening for everyone. You know, we bring you all of your fan favourites. We've done that with our pre-order, summer bedding, and a lot of the things that we bring you, but we do also like to bring the weird, the wonderful, something a bit unusual, something a bit different. Maybe something that you've never grown before. I've never grown this, and I'm so excited to grow this year, because it is exotic, it's beautiful, it's going to be a real talking point. You get these lovely, like generous, large petals on here. Absolutely beautiful flame colours, but just so unique, isn't it?
It looks upside down to me.
Do you reckon?
If we turn that over,
right?
If we turn that over, that makes more sense.
Does that make more sense to you?
In my head, mentally, that makes more sense. I don't know why.
Love it.
But I think that's why I'm so taken by it.
It is incredible. It's a climber as well, so I love that idea. We've got a tower pot on the show that you can put this into. It is a protection from frost item. It's a tender item, so it does want that protection from the frost. So I think putting it into a tower pot is a great way to do it, because then you can move it in and out as and when you need to. If you've got a beautiful conservatory, maybe this could just be a conservatory plant as well. Yeah, you could have it in a conservatory for sure. But then, take it outside during the summer months. Give it that lovely light and warmth during the summer. It's got a lovely light sweet scent that can be used in perfumes as well. The petals curl back on this to expose that green stamen in the centre. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award as well. It's quite a fast climber too, so it's not like you're going to have to wait ages to get some decent results from this. It's from East Africa, so it is amazingly exotic. It definitely wants some nice warm conditions to start it off in. Definitely get it started now. Get that flowering season nice and early, because anywhere between sort of July and September you can get those flowers. Obviously, the earlier you start it, the more likely you are of getting those flowers early on in the season.
But we're definitely going to wait until that last frost is gone.
Totally wait until the last frost is gone before you take it outside.
Nice.
Yeah, you need to protect it. This is what it looks like. This is what the tuber looks like. So you get 3 of these. Each one can grow to a metre, between a metre, metre and a half. I'm going to suggest putting all 3 of these into our tower pot, which I will show you, because I think that will then create the most beautiful display.
If you're going for the Gloriosa Flame Lily, then 630075, £7.99 to get 3 tubers there. Brilliant value if you're using the code. And then you might want to go for this to go with it. So you'd put all 3 of those
I'm going to go all 3 in there, because I think, as you can see from the pictures and videos that we've shown you, it's a fast climber, but I don't think it gets really bushy.
Right.
So I think that this will create, if you put all 3 in here, this will create a really, really nice, full display. Brilliant. Plus, it's made of plastic, so it's nice and lightweight. It's designed to last for many years because it's UV stabilised, frost resistant, and it just makes it easy for you to be able to move it in and out as and when you need to. Obviously, it does have a drainage hole in the bottom, so if you are putting it into a conservatory, just stick something underneath it so you don't leak water all over the floor.
Perfect. Yeah, stand that on something.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to get one of these, and I'm growing my flame particularly in that this year. Cannot wait to share pictures with you.
It's going to be delightful, isn't it? And again, something so unusual, which I think is brilliant. 130461, your tower planter and trellis, 1999. Now, Strolch, something that we feature quite a lot here on You Garden TV. But for those of us that don't know, what on earth is it?
Well, it's lots of things. But first thing, and I think the thing that people are really going to be wanting to go for at the moment is because of the slugs and the snails. So it's this mineralized straw, okay? And there's something in it that the slugs and the snails don't like. So it's a fantastic way of keeping the slugs and snails at bay. It doesn't harm them. There's no poisons. There's no pellets. They just don't like it, so they'll go away and they'll go somewhere else. Really important, actually, at this time of year, because there are certain things that are just coming up out the ground, and slugs and snails do tend to like the fresh, new baby growth of certain plants. So this is a way of you being able to protect those plants without having to go out there and pick them off. Or I know beer traps can be quite effective, and you know, beer traps, they love beer.
Definitely catch me in a beer trap.
Catch me in a beer trap as well.
Absolutely.
I know there are lots of things that people try and use, but honestly, I can personally highly recommend this. I grew hostas last year, tried to grow them a few years before. It was like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They were gone within 2 days. I grew them last year, not one hole in my hosta leaves.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely incredible. But that's just one of the benefits, okay? There are multiple benefits. It retains moisture in the ground, so when we get to those hot summer months, it's going to help to retain that moisture. It improves the soil structure as well, actually. It stays effective for up to 2 years. After that, you can dig it through your soil and help improve the soil structure. It's a weed suppressant, so before you put it down, go down and you know, weed. Put it down, and then it'll help to stop as many weeds coming through. I can't guarantee you won't get any, but it'll certainly help to get rid of a lot of them. And what else? Oh, it makes your borders look neat.
Nice, yeah, I think it looks lovely, yeah, especially if you're just neaten up the appearance of your border, then this is going to be great for that. You're getting 2 9-kilo bags here. Well, that saves you £16, but we will also include the postage for you as well. So it's 2 big bags for you, as you can see there, 100,149. You'll also not only get the postage included, you will of course get the free gift as well.
You will indeed.
Brilliant.
An excellent free gift as well. The Blooming Fast fertiliser, we highly recommend this. Our head gardener thinks this is some of the best plant food you can get out there, and this will make 100 litres, which is about 20 standard size watering cans, so it's a really decent amount included.
Now, talking of our head gardener,
yes.
He is going to pop up now and tell us about, what's he going to tell us about,
The compost.
He's going to tell us about the compost. That's very lovely of him, isn't it? Here he is, here's Peter McDermott.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic, and plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in, but most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the well, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, you know, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah. He can't recommend it enough. I know we tend to sort of bleat on about it.
We do bleat, and we're very sorry.
But it is the most incredible compost, and your compost is going to make a big difference, isn't it? When you are popping your plants in here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about those strong foundations. It's about getting the best out of them, and that is exactly what this is going to do for you.
Absolutely. If you don't have, you know, the best soil where you are, this is going to make an awful difference.
Well,
an awful lot of difference.
Not an awful difference. A good difference.
Oh, a little snort for you there as well.
I got my, sorry to the regulars, but heavy clay soil where I live, really, really heavy clay soil, which is, as Sean keeps telling me, incredibly nutrient rich, and that's fantastic. But there's no room for roots to grow, so it makes no difference how nutrient rich it is. They can't grow in it. So digging this in is really helping to improve the I've got a long way to go, but it really is helping to improve it.
Absolutely, and it's brilliant value also. 100125 is your item number. 100 litres, so you're getting 2 50-litre bags, and we're giving you a great saving, and we've also included the postage. These are beautiful, aren't they?
Right, we're into the fragrance section here.
Look how much new growth we've got coming out of these already.
I love it.
Smell delightful. They look quite oriental to me, I think. I love the fact that we've got this sort of bare plant with these beautiful bunches of blooms on them.
It's called the paper bush because it's grown in Japan.
Is it?
And they make paper from it.
They make paper from this?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to have a little bit of an investigate
I'm going to
how
say
they do
not
that.
from the flowers, but
no, they're too pretty. They are.
It's just when you said
really
oriental,
lovely.
there you go.
They are beautiful, aren't they?
You got a close-up of my face.
Yeah, again.
I just can't get enough of the scent of
beautiful.
that.
And
I think it's incredible.
It's a brilliant price for you, $24.99 in the pot as well, 511366. Where in our garden are we going to want to put this then,
Okay,
Bex?
so what we are saying is winter hardy down to -5.
Okay.
So this one might need a little bit of extra protection in the coldest of weathers. Obviously, depending on where you live, I think we're probably going to be okay now. We might get some frosts and stuff, but you know, I don't think we're going to get down to -5 in most parts of the country, but just think about where you live and where you're going to plant it. Our lovely Philip sent us pictures of his. He said his survived the -10 frosts.
Ooh.
great if they do.
We can't guarantee it,
We can't
obviously.
guarantee it. We're saying winter hardy down to -5. So just think about where you're planting it. It would be great in a pot. You could happily keep this in a pot if you want to. Obviously, you will restrict the size that it will grow to if you do that. So I think if you can plant it out somewhere so it can get nice and big, so you can get so many flowers on here, because the fragrance you're going to get from these is incredible. This is Philip's. He's got one either side of his gate there, which I think is the perfect placing, because every time he walks through his gate, he will get the scent from this, and the scent is absolutely filling our potting shed here. It is deciduous, as you can see. The flowers appear on these naked stems. There's something super exciting about that. But just look, and these have opened just in this last week, opened up even more. These beautiful tubular flowers that you get on here. They're so exciting. Absolutely adore this.
I love how robust they are.
They are quite robust, aren't they?
Really firm, aren't they, the blooms?
I was being really careful in case I knocked them off, but actually they're quite sturdy.
They are amazing. 511366 now is currently cruising around the Canaries. However, he was here recently having a little look at these in the nurseries. It's our lovely Sean.
Hello there. Well, I've just seen this. How beautiful, extraordinary. This is the Edgeworthia Chrysantha grandiflora, and I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. It's in flower right now, February time, and this is when it does flower, so winter, late winter, just before spring. And a little bit like a magnolia, all the flowers appear before any sign of leaf. And that makes it just so dramatic and so beautiful. You very rarely see these in the UK, but they will grow very well here. You need a nice sunny spot, well-drained soil. They're hardy to about -5, so do bear that in mind. Think about where you're going to plant this. If you're a little bit worried, these will do very nicely in a pot as well. And they won't grow too big, so they'll only grow to about 1.5 metres by 1.5 metres, so not huge, but obviously the bigger they get, the more dramatic and beautiful they are. Because you imagine a whole plant covered in flowers. I mean, they're just incredible. And actually, what you won't know at home, the fragrance. I mean, I've got a really poor sense of smell, still got a bit of a cold, but that is divine. It reminds me of a cross between, I would say, a viburnum and there's a little bit, I'd say, of jasmine in there. Oh, it's so powerful. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. The way they grow as well, really quite pretty. The branches kind of twist a little bit and turn, so you just get the most spectacular plant in your garden. And imagine having this at this time of year when everything else is looking a little bit dull, a little bit jaded. You are going to get these stunning flowers. And the flowers, I don't quite know how to describe them, but they slightly look down and they open up from the outside. So you've got all these like tubular cream stems, and on the inside, this bright yellow. And then the centre, all of these still to come out. It's just incredible. And something really different. We like to bring you plants here at U Garden that are a little bit unusual, that are plants that you won't necessarily see in your average garden centre. And we sometimes talk about plants being fillers, just filling the gaps, kind of hiding back a bit, or thrillers. This is definitely a thriller.
It is thrilling indeed, and it's really well established as well when it comes to you, which I think is brilliant. $24.99. It's just going to be a real talking point. I love the fact that it is these sort of bare. It's bare, but apart from those blooms.
Yeah, I really like it actually. I know we talk a lot about making sure you've got evergreen and all the rest of it, but we brought you a few plants actually recently that have the blooms on the bare stems. I mean, even our Salix, the pussy willow, for example, with the catkins. There's something quite interesting when you get those flowers on the bare stems, and this is just incredible.
Beautiful. It's
the fragrance is amazing.
511366 if you want to go for that. Very busy there. Let's move on to the Sarcococca is what we are looking at next.
More fragrance. Get your nose in there, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
That smells like a florist's. That's what it smells like. You go into a florist. It's got that lovely smell to it.
Absolutely love this. Mine woke up. I did a little thing on Instagram about 2 weeks ago. Mine all of a sudden just woke up. These beautiful flowers appeared. And then that fragrance was just, it's so strong. It's beautiful. I first discovered Sarcococca about 8-9 years ago. I was walking around, you know, Furry Meadows in Peterborough. This lovely place in Peterborough. It's got loads of lakes and stuff. We were going on a lovely walk, and it was about February time with the kids. And I just got this waft of fragrance, and I was in love with it instantly. And I'm running around trying to find where it had come from, smelling all these plants. Found it, had no idea what it was, took pictures, sent them to my mum. What is this? I need it. And bless her, she sent back, yeah, I think it's Sweet Box or Christmas Box or something or other, which is also its other names. And I bought it and planted it, and I've loved it ever since. Because it's evergreen, first of all. So yeah, great. We've got lovely, luscious, glossy evergreen foliage on here. But then in the winter time, you get these flowers on here with this heavenly, heavenly fragrance, and it's a plant that doesn't mind a bit of shade. So I think it's valuable for just a multitude of reasons.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I love how delicate the little blooms are on there as well. Very unusual looking. If you said it lived under the sea, you wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No,
those
you wouldn't,
those little blooms. The Sarcococca hookeriana.
Yeah.
Hookeriana.
Let's go with
winter
that.
gem. I love it.
It is beautiful, honestly, and it's hardy. It's winter hardy, so this has our, you know, winter hardy guarantee on it. Yeah, it's probably down to about -15, so this one really isn't going to be a problem.
Have you got yours in the ground, or is yours in a pot?
Well, yeah, it's in a pot, to be honest. But I'm thinking, so it was in the ground. I've put it in a pot because I wanted to put it near the house.
Nice.
Because obviously you get that fragrance in the winter. So I thought I would appreciate it more. But now I'm thinking it might go back in the ground again.
510-579. You've got the option, though, haven't you? It's a nice established plant. This is what it's in a 4.6 litre pot. So it's a really substantial plant when it's already coming out to you. How big is this going to get, Bex?
About 1 metre by 1 metre.
Oh,
so
nice.
it can fill out. It can be great if you've got it in a border as part of a, you know, a mixed border thing, particularly if you've got your deciduous plants there. You know, mix that in with the deciduous plants so that they don't look boring. But yeah, if you want to keep it in a pot, which I think is potentially a good idea, so that you can get the, you know, the value of the fragrance during those winter months, you can do that as well. It will tolerate full sun. You don't have to find a shady spot. It will tolerate full sun. But I do think it's a valuable one that it doesn't mind shade, because those can be tricky areas to fill.
Perfect.
And it's not really fussy on soil type either. It's
nice.
pretty
It's very
chill.
laid back. It's a very easygoing plant, this one.
It's like the Joe Remblance of plants.
I am. I have some chills some of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I am
Not.
very, tightly wound, I think someone described me as the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is better than neurotic, but not far off. 510-579 is your item number if you want to go for that one. It's beautiful. I think you're going to really adore having that in the garden, not just for the visuals, but also for the fragrance as well.
Beautiful. I know a lot of our regulars have got that one already. So if you're new to us, honestly, highly recommend that. And I know mine is alive and smelling beautiful at the moment. So anybody that's already got it, let us know how yours is.
I'm thinking about what I could put in Stacey's garden this summer, being surrounded by all these lovely things, because her garden it's got lots of very well established things in it that are beautiful.
Yes.
But she's tried to put things in and not really looked after them, and so we've got gorgeous big established things, gap. Something lovely and established, and a big gap.
This is amazing, because it strikes me that she's not into doing loads of gardening. She wants low maintenance.
Yeah, any gardening
This
whatsoever.
would be amazing.
This would be beautiful.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, gorgeous. 510-579 is your item number.
If you want some flowers and fragrance and you love lilies, you could totally plant the skyscraper lilies, because these need no maintenance.
Right.
You could secretly plant
Just
these,
take some
not
home,
even tell
secret
her.
them, put them in the ground.
I like this. You have to do this.
This could be a good idea, couldn't it?
No, you have to do this, okay?
Let's move on into the lilies. I was watching a TV programme the other day. It's on ITVX. It's very rude but very funny.
Right.
Called Goed. And there was a scene, and I'd paused the TV, and I spotted a skyscraper lily in the wild.
No way.
Yeah, it was outside of school, and there was loads of them, and they looked incredible, because you had all the lovely foliage, and then the big flowers. Must have been filmed in the summer. These are striking, these, aren't they?
These are the thrill filler, they're not a filler. They are absolutely beautiful flowers, but they're like trees. You get tree lily from these skyscrapers. So these can, once they get established, they can reach up to 6 feet in height.
Amazing.
That's taller than you and me,
Look at those flowers. It's as tall as we'd like to be.
That's as tall as we'd like to be, tall and willowy. Beautiful. This is the Matisse variety, so you're going to get 5 of these bulbs. Each one of these bulbs can create a tree lily up to 6 feet in height. Each one of those can also have 20 plus blooms on as well.
Wow.
Big,
and you're getting 5 bulbs.
Absolutely. Big,
For
beautiful,
$7.99.
trumpet-shaped lily, fragrant, super fragrant blooms on there as well. Top quality bulbs. They're the same as that are used by commercial growers in Holland. You get, with the Matisse, you have these lovely purple, I want to say 2-tone, but it looks like more than 2, doesn't it? Certainly you've got shades within those tones. They are just, I mean, they're breathtaking, aren't they? They're total
amazing.
stunners.
The colour is incredible. It's a skyscraper lily Matisse. I can't believe the value that you're getting. £7.99 to get 5, or £12.99 to get 10 bulbs. That's £1.29 per bulb, which is going. Each bulb is going to give you this striking individual column of gorgeousness.
First year, we're not going to suggest it'll get up to 6 feet.
No.
So first year, you might get 4 feet out of
and
it,
sunflowers,
and multiple blooms.
Yep.
But as this matures, as it establishes over the years, the bulb's going to get bigger and bigger, which means that the plant will get bigger and bigger. So then we're talking up to 6 feet height. Then we're talking 20 plus blooms, and very little that you need to do to it.
Amazing. And then each year, when the season ends, will the whole thing disappear?
Yeah. So the thing with them is that you want, so you can cut the top off, you could cut the flowers off, but you don't want to cut it down to ground level.
Right.
Because all of the goodness from the bulb has gone up into the tree lily. What you need is for all that goodness to go back into the bulb.
Right.
If you cut it off at base level, what you're doing is taking away all the goodness.
So we don't want to use this as a cut flower, really, this one.
You could cut some of the flowers
off. Yeah.
I mean, you probably wouldn't with this. You use other lilies for that, really. You want that beautiful display. But you could cut the top off once the blooms fade, because obviously that can look a bit messy. But then you want to let that die back down so that all the goodness goes back into the bulb, so that then the bulb comes back for you bigger and better, giving you amazing displays next year.
Incredible.
So this would be perfect for Stacey's garden, because you don't really need to do anything.
I could get these and plant them secretly.
You could.
And
She
just
wouldn't
see
even
what
know.
she says. At the back, at the end of the garden, there's a massive sort of raised. When she had the garden done, she had like a big raised bed put in.
Right.
So the whole back of the garden is this raised bed that's about this high and about this deep. Could just secretly put some in.
Secretly
I
plant
love
them.
Joe Remblance, the secret gardener.
Imagine
me. I could start. I'm not. I can't advocate breaking into people's property, but imagine the secret gardener. You could be like a superhero who goes around just planting things that are easy to grow in people's gardens, and then they wake up one day and they're like, oh my gosh, look at that lily.
Well, as long as it's in a sunny spot, you'll get an amazing display from that.
Amazing.
So just go and do it.
How exciting. 630322 if you want to go for that, or doubling up there for $12.99, which is great. As long as you're using the code, remember, YGTV724, you will also get the free gift as well, which is the Blooming Fast, which is amazing. We've got another skyscraper for you as well on the show. I love this. Only doubling up for only, oh my. Bash me on the bottom with a Woman's Weekly. This is amazing.
Chester.
2. So you get 10 here for $9.99, which is great if you're doubling up.
Yeah.
Skyscraper Lily Amorosi. So could we put these and mix these in with the Matisse?
Well, yeah, so we do a collection of 25 bulbs of skyscraper lilies, where you get 5 varieties included, so 5 bulbs of each. The Amorosi is one of them, the Matisse is one of them, we've got Saltarello, we've got a few others.
Nice.
But 25 can be too much for certain
It's an awful
gardens.
lot,
It's
isn't it?
a lot, isn't it, when you think it's going to get to 6 feet and all the rest of it. So what we've done is break those down so that people can choose which ones they want to go for. And we're bringing you a couple of the really popular ones. Matisse, I think, is the most desirable, but then we've also got this beautiful pink Amorosi one going on as well. Gorgeous, silky, lovely petals that you've got on here. Exactly the same story with the Amarosias, with the Matisse. You want a lovely sunny spot. It is winter hardy. It will come back for you bigger and better every single year. Top quality bulbs included in here. You shouldn't need to stake them because they are the tree lilies.
Okay.
So they do have nice, strong stems on them. So you shouldn't need to stake, but just keep an eye out for them. It's not a difficult thing to do to stake.
I guess if you were going to have very stormy weather in the summer, you'd need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, you need to keep an eye on them then. But if you put them in a nice sheltered, sunny spot, shouldn't be a problem at all.
Then you can make those funny videos where people stake their plants. It looks like they're singing. Have you seen them?
Yes.
It's always the Earth Song by Michael Jackson,
always.
isn't it? With some flower flopping around. 630325 if you want to go for those. Double up deal takes you to $9.99, which is brilliant value. It means you'll get 10 there with tree-like lilies, which is brilliant, brilliant value. We've got to go back to the Sarcococca because we're getting a lot of emails about the Sarcococca. So let's come back over here. What is everyone saying about this, Stu?
Now, apparently we had a show in December. Oh, and somebody had bought a whole load of these. They bought like 8 or something of them, all in one go.
We've got a picture of those, so let's have a little look at them.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Here it comes.
It's loading.
Here it comes.
Computer says no.
Let me give you the details for the Sarcococca. Winter green. It's 510579. It's in a 4.6 litre pot already. So great, great value for you. It is $24.99. But yes, again, these really lovely, unusual.
They're unusual
blooms.
Flowers, aren't they? But they're
really
so fragrant.
Unusual.
It's incredible.
So fragrant. Shall we have a little look? We've got it now. Look at those, 4 either side of his gates. How incredible is the front of his house? Because he's got Strolch down over that as well.
Lawrence,
it looks very neat and tidy.
That does look like Strolch as well. Lawrence, that is going to be absolutely beautiful because you're going to get, I mean, they're going to grow up to 1 metre tall, 1 metre spread. The fragrance you are going to get from that is going to be incredible. And also it's going to have
lovely foliage all year round there as well.
All year round, evergreen. That is so clever. I love that.
Absolutely love what you've done there. Who was it that sent that to us?
Lewis, was it?
Lawrence.
Well done,
amazing.
Lawrence. That looks good.
A great way to go with these. 510579.
We're getting a question about, is it susceptible to box blight?
Box blight. What is box blight?
Buxus blight.
We don't know
it
what
happens
that is.
to buxus plants. I don't think so, but I don't know 100%. So leave that with me and I will look into it.
There you are. Olwyn's is flowering. She can smell it 6 feet away.
You really can. This is what's incredible about it. Honestly, it is so fragrant. As I said, I was walking round that Ferry Meadows in Peterborough and it was right over there, but it was carrying on the breeze. It was beautiful.
And I think that's one of the joyous things about your garden, isn't it? The fragrance that it sort of offers you and brings to you. You know, so also, you know, not maybe just looking about the visual, you know, it's planning your garden visually, but also planning fragrance as well, and something that's going to be in fragrance for a long time, and also, you know, sort of when other more fragrant things maybe are not in season.
Well, our lovely regular viewer, Olwyn, her husband is sight impaired. I think he's fully blind or mostly blind, but anyway, she's been creating a sensory garden for him with fragrance, and that is the reason. I remember she messaged in, didn't she? That was the reason that she actually got the Sarcococca, because of the fragrance.
It's really beautiful, and an opportunity for you to get your hands on yours today as well, which is brilliant. 510579. Do you want to see Adam's Sarcococca?
Yes, please.
I've always wanted to.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look, there's a fatsia in the corner. That's a beautiful fatsia.
Which one's a fatsia?
The palm-like leaf on the right-hand side.
That is gorgeous.
And then the Sarcococca here. And I don't know what that is,
Tell you
but
what,
that's beautiful. That one in the middle.
We look like we're in a sort of Japanese water garden.
That's
there.
gorgeous. Well, Adam's
stunning.
doing a sensory garden. Is it Adam that's got the sensory garden for his kids? Yeah, so he's created a sensory garden for his children, so that's obviously part of it with the fragrance included. And you can
see how it's more established as well, the sort of difference in size of the leaves, can't you? You see the sort of leaves of, it's all just got a lot more, it's all got a lot more substantial, isn't it, and settled in, which is brilliant.
It's beautiful once it gets settled. I absolutely adore it. And you don't need to do too much to it.
That's what the word I was looking for.
You can trim bits off it as well and bring it into the house. You can bring that scent in the house too.
You pot it in the house?
No, I mean you could use it as cut flower type things inside. I wouldn't leave it indoors, but you could cut bits off it to bring it in, that scent indoors if you wanted to.
Delightful. 510579 if you're going for that. It is your Rose Garden, I beg your pardon, Glamour collection.
Absolutely.
that we are looking at next. This is always so incredibly popular when we bring it to you. At $29.99, it would absolutely fly out of the potting shed. However, it's £10 off, $19.99, and postage included as well. So you're getting 5 bare roots.
5 bare root rose bushes.
£4 per bare root.
No.
£4 per bare root, yeah. I love it.
£4 per bare root.
This is sensational value, right?
Well, if you think about it, okay, so we had the rose black baccara, which I highly recommend and is well worth it at £16.99. It really, really is. However, it's a bare root just like the ones that we are bringing you right here, right now.
Amazing.
So they come to you like this. There are 5 plants in there. So what you're going to do is unwrap this when you get it home. They are all labelled. Look, you can see the little tags on there that tell you the different colours, so you know which is which basically when you're planting them. So all you need to do is unwrap it, untangle the roots, and then soak them just like we do with the bare roots, and then plant them out.
There's loads of great growth on there.
So I mean, you can see, look, there's loads of buds starting to appear. So there's growth really. We're so into the growing season right now, aren't we? It's exciting times. But what you're getting in the Glamour Rose collection is some of the best roses. I mean, honestly, we could do each of these at $16.99 as well, just like the Black Baccara.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. So you're getting award winners in here. Arthur Bell. I have Arthur Bell. Arthur Bell is that lovely yellow one in the centre. That has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It is a floribunda. It's a beautiful yellow rose. It can reach, a metre. In fact, even more than that. I'm going to say it's going to reach about 4 feet in height, or it certainly can.
Nice.
Mine has, for sure. I love the way they open. They open this beautiful yellow colour and they fade through to a creamy yellow colour as well. So you get a mixture of coloured roses on there. It's beautiful. We've got Queen Elizabeth Pink. That is this one down here. So that one was named for our late Queen for her coronation in 1954. It was voted world's favourite rose previously as well. We've got the Queen Elizabeth Red, which is this one right here. Floribunda, classic beauty, absolute beautiful red rose there. We've got the Peace one, which is the orange one down here.
It's got really interesting colouring on the outside compared to the inside.
Gorgeous, isn't it? So that was awarded to the delegates in World War II. It was voted a world's favourite, and it is a hybrid tea. So lovely, long, straight stems, slightly larger flowers on a hybrid tea. And we've got the Pascali White, which is the this one, obviously, which was also voted a world's favourite rose as well. So we've got a really beautiful collection, award winners, mixture of hybrid teas, floribundas. We've got repeat flowering all the way through the season. And remember that these flowers, these roses have all been bred to be disease resistant, give you masses of blooms, repeat flowering all the way through that summer season. Just a wonderful collection put together for their proven performance in British gardens, mixture of colours and mixture of fragrances.
Beautiful, aren't they? 530011 if you want to go for these. Brilliant value at the higher price. And then we've sort of, I've got a bit bonkers here really, because we're taking £10 off and we've included the postage. And if you just went for that, then we'd deliver that to you. 5 bare roots for £20, barring a penny. We'd include the postage and we'd also give you the free gift as well, which is wild, really, to think about the kind of value that offers you. 530011 is your item number there on those. They are stunning. And I'm guessing we're going to get some flowers this year with those, aren't we?
For sure, yeah, you'll definitely get flowers. Obviously, it will mature and it will establish, and you'll get more and more as it gets even more established. But the first year I planted my
Is that yours?
Arthur Bell.
Beautiful.
That's one of the Arthur Bell flowers. I loved it. It's the most incredible rose. I love a yellow. Mind you, I love all the roses now.
And what do we
really
need to do to sort of keep this in tip-top condition? Will we cut them back?
Like, it's so simple. And this is, again, this is what I was talking about with the colour variation that you get. Look.
Nice.
So we've got new ones and one that's, slightly older, so it fades to this kind of creamy yellow colour. It's beautiful. They're so resilient, it's ridiculous. Okay, so what you will do is you'll prune, and now's a good time. In fact, January is the best time, but you could probably still get away with it now. So what I would do, imagine that this is planted. What I would do is I would look for where there is going to be a bud. So can you see that one there? We're going to try and get that. So where there's going to be a bud of growth, I would prune above that. Now the The rule of thumb is to cut in a diagonal, no, that way.
Yes.
So away from it, diagonally down that way, because then the water runs away from the bud.
Ah, okay.
But you don't really have to be that careful.
Right,
you really don't.
So if
That's
I went
the
back
general
today and
rule.
looked at the roses that are in the front garden that Stacey says, a bush it gives us roses year after year after year.
Yeah.
Basically, wherever there's that growth, if that's the highest one, clip it off above that and get rid of it.
The thing is, what you want to try and create, the idea is you're trying to create a lovely kind of neat bush shape. So obviously the more you trim, the bushier it will get, because it will create extra growth coming off where you've cut it.
Right.
So there is, you know, once you get into it, you can look at, okay, I'm going to trim here because then it'll create growth here, so you can get that lovely, neat, symmetrical shape. But my Arthur Bell, last year, I cut it right back down to about here.
Oh,
this
really?
year, I haven't gone that far. I've probably trimmed it down to about this height, because then I'm going to create a nice bushy bit going on. But honestly, you can cut them right back and it grows back again. It's incredible.
Amazing. Really durable there. Oh, robust, I should say. 530011 if you want to go for those. They are an absolutely incredible offer today. $19.99 delivered for those 5 bare roots. Belgian trailing giant begonia.
Yeah.
These popular, aren't they? Begonia, another absolute classic in the garden.
Classic in the garden, summer favourite because long flowering season, tolerant of all the summer weathers, and incredibly low maintenance.
Nice.
So for those 3 reasons alone, these are fantastic begonias in your, you know, summer gardens basically. But we've got even better things going on with these. These are the Belgian begonias. The Belgians do it best when it comes to this. So these were bred by world-renowned breeder Arnold van Petegem.
Nice.
He spent
Great
his
name.
life developing these, and what he bred them for was strength and vigour. What we are talking about is larger flowers, up to 6 inches in diameter. They are phenomenal, but these are trailing as well. So I'm doing my hanging baskets with these this year. They'll trail 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres. They don't mind sun, they don't mind a bit of shade. That's why they're going in my hanging baskets, because I've got a northeast facing front door. So morning
Perfect.
sun and then it disappears. Even when they're heavy with rain, they will withstand it. And look, that's Arnold.
He's a happy chap.
Look at the size of them. Honestly, they are just incredible.
Is he a really small man, or are they really massive flowers?
I think those are particularly big
they are
ones.
particularly big
Those
ones,
are particularly big ones. Mine got really, they didn't get that big, but mine got really big last year. It was the best thing I planted in my garden out of everything I planted. I mean, hopefully you can tell how much I love it. But the begonias were the best thing. They just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. You can overwinter begonias as well, so they can be a perennial if you want to.
Oh, nice.
So you need to protect them from frost. You don't plant them out until the frost has gone. Get them started now, but don't plant them until the frost has gone.
Oh, look at those.
Yeah, look at that.
Have you planted those in the
pot.
middle of your lawn? It does look like they're, because they are so big, you can't see the pot, so it looks like they've just been planted in the lawn.
So I planted them in some, they're probably a good 40 centimetre height. They're as big as the Diablo pots that we're bringing you. And they tumbled and trailed over the edges of those pots. I had 3 pots. I just moved it onto the lawn because it stood out a bit more for the picture. You can really see how amazing those displays are. They were so, so good. The longest flowering of everything and the easiest to look after. All I did was water and feed. I didn't even deadhead them.
Really?
You don't really need to. I mean, it is recommended that you deadhead, but to be honest, the faded flowers just seem to drop off on their own. You don't really need to go around and do it.
Beautiful. 630193. Great value again, because you're getting 10 tubers here. Saving £8. You're saving more than you're spending. £6.99 you're getting these for today, as long as, of course, you use the code YGTV724. That is what will ensure you're getting all of the deals, including postage incentives, free gifts, all of that. The double ups to buy one, get ones. It all is unlocked using that code. Don't forget also about our pre-order section. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The good news.
The good news is, if you enjoy the shows that I join you here on YouGarden TV, I'm back with you tomorrow.
Yay!
Well, the bad news is that if you don't enjoy the shows, I'm back with you tomorrow. Which is fun. But you're also back here, so that'll be tomorrow. We're with you, 10 till 1 again tomorrow. And then you're back Sunday.
I'm back Sunday, but I've got lovely Adam Walcott joining me
lovely.
on Sunday. So yeah, between us, we won't shut up at all.
Stu's really worried about stopping you talking.
I know.
Oh, you are. It's going to be a lot of fun.
With the two of us both talking about the plants, it's going to be very difficult.
It really is. It's going to be fun. Make sure
I think I'm going to have to shut up and let Adam do it, I think, on Sunday.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
But he is an award-winning garden designer, so maybe I should let him talk a little bit.
We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Let's recap some of the glorious things that you've seen. Let's start with the pink L. Very busy on this. It is your Escallonia leavis pink L,
it's coming,
which is amazing. It is coming, I promise. I can't get rid of Arnold. Wouldn't leave the VT player, apparently. There you are. So this is your pink L, as you can see, in a 2-litre pot as well. So it's really nicely established. $9.99, which is great value for considering how established this particular plant is. Beautiful. $9.99 is your price on that one. Salix pink pussy willow. That is the next one I want to tell you about. Look at those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful explosion of colour, and it looks this good now, and it's only going to get better. Plot twist. It's coming in a 3-litre pot for you. It's $14.99 down from $24.99. So another great saving, as long as you are using that code. Don't forget, it's all about ensuring that you've popped the code into there to get these great prices. 511365 for your item number there. The nudiflorum, which we love, the Jasminum nudiflorum, which is beautiful. This, of course, going to give you a lovely pop of colour in the winter. So when everything else is maybe looking a little bit sorry for itself, this is still going to be shining bright. 550375 is the item number for that. And it's a 60cm cane in 2-litre pot, which is amazing. So make sure you are snapping that one up. 550375. Verbena, this is Sean's. You don't get Sean included for the price, unfortunately. Or the sheep in the background. Are they Sean's sheep? 560910. You should have one. Well, one of these should be costing you $9.99. However, you get these, all 3 of them, for $12.97. So for a few pounds more, we send you 3, which is brilliant. 560910 is your item number there. Paperbush. This is really interesting, this next item. Sort of bare stems with those beautiful collections of blooms on the end of them. They are just so cool. They're going to really be a talking point, I think, in your garden. We couldn't get rid of Sean. That happens all the time. It's this one just here, 511366. Edgeworthia Chrysanthemum grandiflora, or paperbush, which is a lot easier to say. I just think it's beautiful. It's got definitely something quite oriental about it, which is, of course, where it originates from. You save £5 on this, $29.99 down to $24.99. Now, the massive one, the Formium, the Sundowner Pink, in a 5-litre pot. It's a big, established plant, this one, going to give you loads of striking foliage, can flower apparently as well, but it's all about that beautiful striking foliage. It's got a real lovely pink hue to those leaves as well. 510369, another great price for you, under £30 to get that one home. Oh, the black rose, the black baccara. This is beautiful, a glorious, glorious rose. Saves you £3 here. It's a bare root of this that we are sending out to you for $16.99. It is the most beautiful, sort of intriguing colour. It's a very dark rose that you're looking at there. 530317 is your item number on that one. We are going to move on here is your compost, always so incredibly busy whenever we bring it to you. 100 litres, so 2 big 50-litre bags, lovely saving, 0 postage to pay here as well. 100125 is your item number if you want to go for that one. Great for indoor plants, your house plants, outside. It's going to be great. I think we said pretty much everything that we had in the show, this show, is going to work well in our premium professional compost, which is awesome. 100125 if you want to go for those. Let's come back though, because we've still got more to get through. I want to tell you about some of our faves so far. We're going to start actually with these pots. We've talked about these a lot, haven't we, Bex, throughout the course of the show?
Well,
and they are really lovely to look at. You can double up here. One of these should be £23, so you'd imagine to get 2 of them would cost you £46. That isn't the case. Two of them, $14.99.
I know,
amazing,
and I absolutely adore these. I think they're really, really pretty. I think they're quite high-end looking. They're very sort of designer looking. You'd be happy to go and pay that money for these in a garden centre. I love that kind of stone look you've got here, and then the contrast with the kind of hammered metal up at the top. They are, I think, they fit into a lot of different garden schemes as well.
They look quite organic on the bottom, don't they?
They do, don't they? They're a nice big size as well. We are talking 39 centimetre diameter, so these are going to work for a whole variety of the things that we've got on the show today. Even your summer bedding plants you could put in here.
Nice.
I mean, so the Begonia pictures that we showed you earlier, the giant trailing begonias, it'll cover the pot, to be honest, because they'll trail over the edge, but that was what I did with mine. They were in sort of 30 to 40 centimetre pots, and the displays I got from those were absolutely incredible. Now, they are made from plastic, so these are not going to crack and break if you accidentally drop them.
It's not going to be too heavy if it's something you do need to move around. I just think, you know, lovely big ceramic pots or terracotta pots, they are lovely to look at, but they are a pain to move, aren't they?
And also, you know, so they can be a problem when they expand and contract, when you're talking about the cold and the warm, and that's when you get the cracking and breaking, or if you drop them they crack and break, and then they become very expensive drainage that you put in the bottom of other pots.
Yeah, they really do.
And as somebody who used to be a pot snob, who used to spend
Pot snob, is that what you call it?
I used to be a pot snob. I used to spend more money on the pot than I did on the plant, because I thought it had to be the best quality, you know, like it's glazed and ceramic, but actually it really doesn't. It doesn't need to be expensive and still look absolutely amazing. Designed to last you for many years. It has got a little lip around here, so if you do want to move it around, it is a bit easier to. Obviously, it will be heavier once you put the compost in, but not as heavy as a ceramic pot with the compost and things in as well. Really good value for these, and they have been really popular for us in the past and would work beautifully with our Phoenix canariensis.
Well, you've been a little bit naughty because we were instructed before the show and during the show that we weren't going to see these until tomorrow. But they are here.
But I love them.
I didn't know that they were going to be on a buy one, get one free.
Yep.
£20 each is what you should be. We should actually be looking at £25 each for them. We can give you two £50 worth for $19.99. You only need to put one in your basket with a code, and they will both appear. They are amazing.
Aren't
they remind me of all-inclusive holidays as a kid. That's what I think when I see these.
It definitely feels
we went
like
to the
holiday.
Canaries all the time as a kid, and they are beautiful. And they're going to bring a little touch of exotic to your garden, which I think is always nice.
This is why I love these so much. They're evergreen, so they always look like this. They definitely feel like a holiday, don't they? You will have seen these. In fact, Sean's probably looking at these because the Canary Islands is exactly their home place. It's where they come from.
They
origin
originate in the Canaries.
So they can get really big out there. We are talking probably like 8, 9, 10 metres. Here, they're not going to get that big. You can restrict the size as well by keeping them in a pot, but you know, you get a couple of metres out of these, but they always look this good because they are beautifully evergreen. So even in the depths of winter, you've got something interesting to look at in your garden.
Are they hardy, these?
They are hardy down to about -5, I think it is. We said on these. So your might need to give them just a little bit of protection with a fleece around the bottom here, a bit of straw, a bit of mulch that will look after them. But obviously, the more they grow, the more they establish, the more hardy they become. So I think these are well worth adding in, not only because we've got an amazing price on these today, but because you will have this beauty happening absolutely all year round. I love them. I've got one.
Maybe these are something you might want to pot on in a big pot for the first couple of years, and then once they're more established, get them in a border maybe, or in a raised border, or wherever in the ground you want to put them.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nice, I like that idea.
I think they do need potting on as soon as possible because I think they're well
wedged into
those pots.
Does it mean if they come out of the pots really easily, does that mean it's definitely time to pot them on? I've got a rubber plant
always.
and I'm telling you, I only have to look at it and it lifts out of the pot that it's in. I don't know what that means.
No. Probably needs some water.
It, maybe, yeah. It looks very happy.
Normally you can tell because you can start seeing the roots coming out the bottom, out the holes at the bottom, and once that's happening, then yeah, I mean, look, I can see some some growth coming outside there. These probably need potting on soon. I tried to repot. I foolishly had my Monstera in a pot that had a lip on the inside of it, but it had been in there and it was way too past it. You couldn't...
Well, then I pulled it out. I actually tore it in half and lost half of it. I lost half of it to the pot, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh no.
Not good. Not good at all. I've learnt my lesson. I'd break the pot now.
Anyway,
let's get back to the show. 680-005 if you want to go for these. Buy one, get one free. If our friends from
East Coast Tropical Gardens
are watching, it's a YouTube channel that watches us apparently. We would love to see your garden.
Yeah, we would. They've got some of these.
They've got some of these and they're whoppers apparently. 680-005.
Yes, I was naughty bringing that in, but if you're watching, you've got to.
You're so naughty. Put your wrist out. There you go,
Thank you.
turn you off.
But if you're still watching, then you've got ahead of everybody else that's decided to go somewhere else.
Snap them up. Now, we are fast running out of time, so we've got to be quick here.
I'm being given a minute each.
L. I'm just going to do titles and then I'm going to shut up.
Fine. Beautiful, evergreen, luscious, healthy looking leaves, but you are going to get these lovely panicles of gorgeous pink blooms on here as well. Comes in a couple of blooms throughout the summer months, somewhere between June and October. Very reliable, incredibly floriferous, year-round interest because of that lush evergreen, and very easy to look after. Yes, deadhead to prolong and encourage more blooms to come through, but it's compact, it's evergreen, it needs a sunny position and has the Royal Horticultural Society perfect for pollinators stamp of approval.
I love that. 510545. Lots of you love this already. Let's move on to the Black Rose. Elaine has gone for this today. I know you're going to absolutely love it. It's very mystical, this one, isn't it?
I think it's standout, this one. I think it's really classy, really sophisticated. It's got outstanding colour to it. It's a hybrid tea, so what you get with hybrid tea tends to be larger roses. They tend to be more fragrant than your floribundas, and they grow on nice long straight stems, so these are great if you like those cut flower displays to bring into your home. Has a beautiful fragrance to it. It's going to be a real focal point, a proper specimen, and it's going to give you years and years of joy and beauty. Borders, pots, really doesn't matter. It'll grow to about 3 feet height and spread.
Amazing, isn't it? £3 saving here, £16.99. Postage included as well. 530317.
Now Jan has just joined us in the chat. She is expecting a delivery.
Right, okay.
Bless her, she knows how excited we get about this. Hopefully it comes in the next 12 minutes before we go off air. So our ordering process is great. You get an email to say your order is, received, and then you get one to say it's been dispatched, but then you get a countdown of how many stops away it is.
I love that.
I love that too. Jan's on a countdown for how many stops away.
How many stops away is it, Jan?
As she said. Just a few, apparently.
Few.
Exciting!
Have you ever had to go out and chase the man down because you were going out? Man, it could be a woman as well. The person, have you? Some people do because it plots where it is, doesn't it?
You can go round
I know friends that are impatient have just gone out and tracked down said delivery man to get them. I don't recommend that.
No.
Dahlia, that is where we are going.
No. Oh, what?
Oh no, the survey says. Dahlia.
Everyone's going Dahlia.
That was your one.
That's my one.
Dahlia. Every single person has said Dahlia so far. 630146 is your Dahlia. Rebecca's World.
Welcome to my world.
Buy one, get one. So you only put one in your basket. We don't send you 3. We send you 6, and we take £3 off
Absolutely.
as well. Love that.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, dahlias are incredible flowers because they flower for a really long time and they keep going right the way through until the first frost. So we are talking right the way through to probably October, maybe even into November, obviously depending on where you live in the country. But I was seeing dahlias for such a long time. And they're beautiful as cut flowers. You get a whole range of them as well. And I think this one in particular is really, really beautiful because you've got that lovely deep wine-coloured centre and then so many petals. Just
Petalicious, aren't they?
Petalicious, Joe. Well done. Yes, thank you for that word. That are graduating out to that lovely kind of blush pink and white on the tips there. Months of stunning colour. Dead head to prolong, but give yourself a cut flower display in your home every single week.
Beautiful, really, really beautiful, wonderful as a cut flower. And also a lovely colour variant of them there for you, and a great deal as well. One should be $12.99 for 3 tubers, but we're going to send you 6 tubers. It's a buy one get one. Just put one in your basket, and we'll send you 6 of them, which is wonderful. Remember, make sure you're adding the code. That's how you get the buy one get one. That's how you get the double up. So it's also how you get the free gifts and the postage incentives as well. Narine is where we are going. Oh, we've got a question about the dahlias, apparently. How many would you put in a tower pot?
In a tower pot, they don't need to climb particularly, but I suppose it'll give it a bit of support. You only really need 1.
Really? In one tower pot? Nice.
Yeah, because it gets quite bushy. So it gets a lot of foliage at the bottom and then you get these flowers kind of coming out the top. So how big is the tower pot, Stu? Does it say the width of it? Is it 30? Big. I meant the width of it. Is it 30-something centimetres?
Let's have a look at them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with dahlias, they can grow to 90 centimetres high and they can spread to about 50-60 centimetres. So really, you're only going to need 1 in there.
Really? Perfect. 15 inches wide.
Yeah, so you're only going to need 1.
Yeah, there you are. 1 tuber, 1 pot.
So I've got some of those big pots that we don't have anymore. They're 40-50 centimetres wide. I am going to put 2 in those, but really, you could probably get away with just putting 1 in.
Okie doke. 630146. The sunflower. I want to share that with you, but it's just a reminder to go out. Don't go out. Stay where you are. Go back and check out the pre-order section because it's been very busy. We had 9 new pre-orders for you on this show, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So I think we started with it, didn't we? It was towards the beginning of the show. So if you want to go back and have a little look, we were sort of within the first half an hour. If you want to have a look at those, loads and loads of summer bedding, all pre-order, waiting to come out to you. Probably we're going to start in the first week of March, so it's only a couple of weeks away, and you can get planning. You can plan what you're going to happen. Then when they're here, we will deliver them direct to your door.
They're just a beautiful pop of colour.
We'll be bringing them back tomorrow.
Summer has arrived, don't you? 2 of those for $14.98. We're including the postage for that as well. So you could go for 12 of those plug plants today, with the postage included, delivered along with the free gift as well. It's absolutely cracking value. We love to see it, Bex, don't we?
We do
really,
love
really
it.
Do.
Absolutely.
We are going to come back 401534, your item number for that. We are going to come back to this. Our peonies. Peonies is what we're looking at here.
The bartzella.
Bartzella peonies is what we're talking about.
I love this one. The beautiful yellow colour. And actually, you get like a lemon citrus scent from this. So I love that the colour matches the scent.
That's nice.
It is lovely, isn't it? We adore the peonies because they are petalicious. They are big, beautiful blooms that you get on here. They are perennial, so they will come back bigger and better for you every single year. It is coming to you as a bare root, so it is going to take a little bit of time to establish. Okay. When you're planting a bare root peony, you are getting incredible value for money, first of all. If you bought this as an established one in a pot, you would be paying a lot more money. So this is very much about getting value for money. Hopefully you'll get some flowers in the first year, but really you are planning on the future. You are going to be getting bigger and better displays, and for such a long time as well. Peonies are long-lived perennials, and I just want to show you the kind of quality that we are talking about here. So 1, 2, 3, and one down here as well.
Nice.
So we're getting at least 4 stems coming off there. This year, I think you'll get flowers this year, but next year, and you can get multiples. You can get 10, 12, 15 flowers on here every single year. Absolutely gorgeous peonies.
Amazing, aren't they? Absolutely glorious. 2 of these for $21.99. 580-020. I love that they go from those really tight
buds,
balls, don't they? Or
They're
bars,
really pretty.
they bloom out. You can give them a little bash as well if they don't open up.
You keep talking about that. I've never...
Yeah. You can.
I mean...
Who told me? I think it was Angela that told me.
Oh, was it?
Ages ago, yes, I had some
if you
in a
bash
pot.
it'll open it.
You bash your peony slightly, it'll open up a bit.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's always nice. 580-020. Ask Adam about bashing peonies and see what he says at the weekend. 580-020, your item number there. We're moving on to...
sweet peas.
Sweet peas.
Yeah,
These have been so popular today. We knew they would be because they are stinking gorgeous, aren't they?
They are so pretty. A beautiful mix of colour, but it's that fragrance as well, isn't it, that you get from sweet pea. It's unmistakable. It's that summer scent. But these are your super compact, ultra compact variety. Nice. So we know sweet peas are climbers. We would normally put them in something like a tower pot because they'll climb a metre, metre 20. But these are ultra compact. We're talking maybe a foot by a foot, 30 by 30 centimetres. So if you want to create a beautiful hanging basket display from these, you absolutely can, because they will stay nice and compact. And I've got a couple of hanging baskets I'm going to show you if Stu will let me. But you can put them into pots, into window boxes. There's so many versatile places that you can put these because they are a slightly more compact variety. Deadheads them to encourage more blooms to come through, but you will get so many flowers from those, and you could even probably bring some in and create little little posies inside.
Nice,
too.
Aren't they? 410186, double up there, 2 sets of those, so 20 plants for $19.99, which is wonderful.
Yeah, they are garden ready, but your garden isn't ready for them, so make sure that you don't plant them out until the frosts have passed, but grow them on, start them off in your windowsills, conservatories, greenhouses, get them going. That'll give you longer displays. And these, by the way, are the hanging baskets, or this is one of the pots that we have on the show. These are the Knox hanging baskets.
Oh, buy one, get one.
And these would be
$4.99.
These would be great to put those sweet peas in.
I would be going for a few of those. I'd be ordering, 2 or 3 of those and getting 4 or 6 of them.
Did I say begonias? I'm sure I said sweet peas.
I will be going
Thanks,
for...
Stu.
Thanks, Stu.
Oh. Right, so you can actually take the hanging bits off as well.
Handy,
so you
isn't it?
can just use them as pots if you want to, or you can clip those back into place and use them as hangers. It's entirely up to you how you do it. But again, frost resistant, UV stabilised, plastic, got the drainage holes in the bottom for you. Beautiful design, going to last you for a long, long time.
Yeah, they really are. They're brilliant, these. And they look gorgeous too. 130502 is the item number that you need for those. So buy one, get one. So you put 1 in your basket, we'll send you 2. Put 4 in your basket, we'll send you 8. That's the way it works there. With those, Gloriosa is what we are looking at next. This has
been really popular again this week.
Really popular again, this one. I think because it is so unusual.
It is.
What was the one we bought last week or the week before? Had like the little sort of tie around the centre of it. Do you remember?
Oh, it was
a white
the
flower
white
with a little
pinwheel. It was a
pinwheel, the jasmine gardenia. Yeah. This reminds me of that. Just not in the fact that it's the same, but it's so unusual.
Just something a bit weird and wonderful.
And we love weird and
different.
wonderful. We celebrate it, don't we?
Well, look, we want to do all of our favourites. We want all of our summer bedding. We want our reliables. We want all of those things. But we also want something that's going to be a talking point, something that maybe you've never grown before, something that's just a bit unusual. And this definitely fits the bill. It is so amazingly exotic looking that I cannot wait to get this growing in my garden. I mean, I can't wait for people to ask me about it. I'm going to invite everybody around. Look, come and look at this. Come and look at this. Look what I grew. It is going to be just the most beautiful thing. So it's a climber. It's a fast climber, okay? So you do need to provide some support for it. We've got a recommendation for you. It does have a lovely scent. It is often used in perfumes. This could be a great conservatory plant as well because this is something that does need protection from frost. It is so exotic. It comes from East Africa, so obviously it's used to very warm climates. That doesn't mean we can't grow it here, though. We absolutely can. Get it started off now to give you the biggest, best, longest lasting displays all the way through the summer. July, August into September, hopefully you will have some beautiful flowers on here.
Just stunning, aren't they? Really unusual in its colouring, as well as, of course, the sort of structure of the flower as well. 630075, your item number here. You save £5 on this, which is wonderful. And of course, just make sure you're using the code YGTV724, and then you'll also get the free gift as well. Remember, in with every order that you place. And we have got the perfect pot for this to go in, haven't we? You'll get it. How many would you put in here?
I'm going to put all three in there because the Gloriosa will grow to metre 20, so it'll obviously, you know, wind its way in here. But I don't think it's particularly bushy.
Right.
So I think 3 in here will give the best display. That's my personal recommendation. Let us know if you think I'm doing it wrong, but that's certainly what I'm going to suggest doing. With the tower pot, the gaps, the holes are big enough in order for me to get my hands through, so if I do need to encourage anything to grow in a certain direction, I can do that. It is made of plastic again, so it is lighter weight than it would be if it was something heavier than that. It comes to you in 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it simply just clips into place as and when you need to. And you were saying, Joe, I think this is great. You can just put the bottom one on.
Oh, yeah.
Until it starts to grow, and then you can put the second one on.
When you plant it up, I guess you might not even have the tower on there.
No, maybe you'll just
until you
put it
start
like
getting some growth on that.
But it's great to have it like this because that particular item, the Gloriosa, needs protection from frost. It does mean that this is very easy to then move indoors and outdoors as and when you need to do that. Obviously, it does have a drainage hole in the bottom, so if you are keeping it indoors, you will need to put a plate underneath it.
It is awesome, isn't it? Right, make sure you check your baskets out. We are coming towards the end of the show. Don't forget also about the free gift, the Blooming Fast. As long as you're using that code, YGTV724, it will be in every single order, and the code is what gives you the savings, the buy one get ones, the double ups. It all comes from you, making sure that you enter that code, which is awesome. Bex, it's been a pleasure, as it always is.
Should we do it again tomorrow?
Should we do it again tomorrow?
Yeah.
10 a.m. till 1 p.m.
10 a.m. till 1 p.m. We'll be back. There's a few things we didn't get to show you as well.
Yes, some other bits that we will introduce to you. Well, you might have actually showed them in the end, unfortunately, because you didn't do what you were being told, did you? Slapped you on the wrist. No, it has been an absolute pleasure to get to spend some time with you. And it's been a pleasure to get to spend some time with all of you guys as well at home. Please don't forget the offer code YGTV724. Thanks for all of your emails as well.
Don't forget to join the club as well. If you're not a club member already, you can get extra discounts by joining the club.
We love to see it. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow as well. TTFN, bye-bye.
Bye.